looked away in disgust.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
See, look at the health bars just trickling down.
They're running out of time.
Beautiful boot from Junbin. Oh my word. Oh, they're making the hog work.
Look at that Shu coming in with the nano too. This might just be enough.
What's up, Overwatch fans around the world? It is the OWCS Korea time, the finals. Of course, we're here. I'm G Clef with me, Wolf. The crazy news: Crazy Raccoons are not here. They are down. Of course, they will be making it to Asia, but not in the finals, of course.
That's right. And ZETA Division is actually going to join Falcons in the grand finals. A team that we saw in Stage 1 as FTG look really good, had a strong core, but couldn't quite get across the finish line. They were a very strong contender for a lot of this season, a lot of the year. They've been knocking on the door, but finally now making their way to the grand finals. Coming in as underdogs today, I would say, against the Falcons. But I'm looking at chat. I've been watching social media. There's a lot of believers. I've been on the Bernard hype train, I feel like, for 8 years. I think maybe it's finally time for him to lift a trophy. He's never won a big domestic title here in Korea, so it would be a massive win for somebody who's been around in the scene forever. And you obviously have Falcons, an extremely well-funded organization, right? They came in earlier than ZETA Division, who acquired FTG. Falcons having a robust coaching staff, a really strong read on this meta right now. It is going to be a damn good best of 7, I have to say, G Clef.
It is going to be first of 4, and Falcons, they need it. This was the only big win back in Stage 1, Korea win. Ever since then, it has been the Raccoons, but they're not here. They're not in the finals. So this has to be their redeeming moment. Getting the Korea back-to-back for the Falcons, it's a big org. I think that's somewhat of the expectations, actually, from the org to get that many titles. But in the major, in the East EWC, they couldn't deliver it. So I think this has to be the moment going forward. They got a good read on the meta. They beat the Raccoons already, who they chose from the seeding matches. The moment that the first matches were decided, Raccoons, Falcons, GG, we're going to win. Didn't happen. That's the big story. And the Falcons are up here looking like the strong favorite. But it does seem, we did get the news that Falcons, some of the members, they are having some health issues on the day. So I don't know if we are going to be seeing that 100% Falcons. I think we need that Falcon to go up against ZETA today.
Yeah, I don't know exactly who has the health issues. So that may play a part in who actually ends up being affected, or if it's just symptoms that they have. And
it might not be that bad.
Yeah, it might not be that bad. I mean, they've obviously agreed to play today, and they could have tried to ask for a reschedule or something like that, but, it's the finals. You don't reschedule the finals, and they have a pretty deep roster pool as well. So if some of the players aren't feeling well, they have a backup on tank, they have support backup, they have a really robust DPS lineup. They have Happy started playing at the beginning of this stage, obviously, in and out, but now we're not really seeing him in. So that starting lineup that we see today will definitely give us a big hint as to what we are going to be seeing in today's matches. And we have obviously in the past sometimes had like third place matches and some other stuff around the finals, but today it's just this big best of 7. The entire focus is going to be on who's taking that #1 seed for the LAN, who's going to be lifting the trophy, who's going to be our second champions. As we had, last time around, Crazy Raccoons being the underdogs, right? And it was a very interesting series, very close. They ended up winning the LAN, but weren't able to cross the line against the Falcons. So Falcons coming in, defending winners. Very, very, very robust lineup. Like I mentioned, DPS, tanks, and supports. They have flex there. And we've seen both team support lineups be so impactful in a meta where Ana is so incredibly strong.
Oh, yeah.
Juno's come in as this new pick that's empowering Ramatra comps in Korea. And you have to consider also the Brig lineup, Violet's Lucio. Like, there's so much to talk about here.
There's so much to talk about, and we will talk about when we have the active rosters. But to sum up what happened through the playoff bracket from Korea, Falcons 1-3 Fnatic. Raccoons, they chose either ZETA Division or Team Falcons, ended up choosing the Falcons, lost to the Falcons 1-3. And Poker Face down from the Crazy Raccoon. So Crazy Raccoon, Falcons, ZETA Division, they are going to Asia 100%, along with Poker Face, who also won the wild card about 3 days ago. So 4 teams are locked in for Asia, but it matters the most because who's going to win and grab that champion spot for Korea today.
Yeah, today is all about getting the title. Because you know you'll come in as first seed for Asia, of course, if you win today, but winning that championship is, I think, what matters so much. Winning the LAN and then going all over to Stockholm and trying to win that. I mean, there's a lot of prestige in that as well, but you know, we've had this map pool all stage long. It's not changing here for the finals. We have a best of 7 though, so we will get a little bit deeper in the pool this time around. You know, it feels like Runasapi still has that new tag, but we've seen it a few times. Like, it's not as commonly picked as our old push maps, but still does add some depth. Man, it's crazy that we're sitting here now. I think a lot of ZETA fans even didn't believe this could be possible, right? That they would be the ones going up against Falcons in the finals. You know, big whiff from Crazy Raccoon. They could have faced ZETA instead, right? And I think most people would have favored them there. They took the bold choice of pulling the Falcons up to them to try to have the easier finals. It backfired completely. Now, they did crush Poker Face in that that final match, the third place match, to decide whether they would go straight to Asia or not. So we're able to secure that land. So we'll still see Crazy Raccoons in a few weeks' time. That being said, though, is this Falcons just going to crush ZETA Division? I think a lot of people have that opinion, but from watching ZETA's games and their seeding matches, their last games in regular season, they've developed a lot as a squad, and this meta really suits them. So when Bernard can actually be on that frontline tank, it is pretty insane. But let's shift focus to Team Falcons. First, G-Clef, massive favorites coming into this one. This org acquired Hamster very early on this year, before we even started this tournament, before this tournament was even announced. Falcons picked this roster up with the intent that they would win everything. But then rivals Crazy Raccoon took the spotlight away from them. They weren't able to win EWC, weren't able to win the first LAN in Stage 1, but this time they defeat their rivals on the way here and have a new challenger in ZETA Division.
And this has to be the moment where they get the title back, at least for Korea. That will be another start. And then going into Asia will be the big step. And then into the majors. So what they're looking for, they have accomplished that last week, not too long ago. Also, the seeding looked a lot better. Talking about seeding, ZETA Division. Oh man, it didn't really quite go their way. 2-3 all over the board, 3 losses. And lots of fans thought, okay, ZETA Division seemed very strong during Stage 2. What just happened? Are they just not pulling up at the right clutch? It was always a 2-3 loss.
Yeah, and that really rough seeding decider, being 0-3, was something that nobody really expected from this team. I mean, Poker Face outperformed them, but they come in today looking to change the narrative. Now, we talked about this roster and its flexibility. That being said, Happy is going to be on the bench here for the beating. So regardless of the masks everyone's wearing, you know, everyone's trying to keep each other safe, trying to keep the audience safe. It's going to be your main starting lineup. Hanbin over Smurf on the tank role. Surmajed also on the bench here for at least our starting matchup. Team Falcons, a roster to be feared. Leading into 2024, everyone said this roster would be unbeatable. And only Crazy Raccoon has been able to prove that they are. So coming into today, again, massive favorites, I would say.
Certainly, and I think the DPS lineup, certainly Happy. You can have him as a backup, but ever since the Tracer nerf with the damage, I think a lot of the Tracer specific hit scan players are staying a lot more in the bench. And that's specific, and we're seeing a lot more Maze because of that reason.
Yeah. Now, ZETA Division have Alphagi and Flora in the DPS lineup. Bernard, obviously a player I've spoken a lot about, with Heesung on the bench behind him, and Finn and Violet, a legendary support duo. But Alpha Yi has been so flexible in this meta. Flora also has been too. He's picked up the Tracer a little bit. Alpha Yi's been playing a ton of Pharah. And Flora, we know he can play the Cassidy at an incredibly high level. It feels like his Cassidy has even improved from what we saw from him on FTG earlier this year. ZETA, Japanese org here in Korea, right, as well as another storyline. Sure, we don't have the crazy raccoons, but I think a lot of Japanese fans around the world are hoping that this roster can get it done. I am so hyped for this finals, G-Clef. It is going to be sick.
Indeed. Flora, his Ashe, Cassidy, these hit scans are just out of this world. And again, the first map, I think we will see. Oh, right before that, we do have the interview between the two teams. Let's hear it from Quest with the translation.
코리아 스테이지 2 그랜드 파이널. 안녕하세요. 아나운서 이시윤입니다.
Thank you very much, G-Clef. We are here for the grand finals pre-match interview. And we have the two team reps on stage. Hanbin from Team Falcons and Violet representing ZETA Division. The first question goes to Team Falcons. Of course, they are the Stage 1 champions. Of course, but for Stage 2, they had some bumps in the road. But then again, they also beat Crazy Raccoon 3-1. So how do you feel about making it all the way here?
이기고 저희는 무조건 결승 갈 거라고 이제 다짐하고 온 거라서.
The mindset coming into that match was that okay, we're gonna beat Crazy Raccoon to make it to the finals. So we weren't thrilled, but I think we will definitely be thrilled if we win today's match. Of course, now after beating Crazy Raccoon, now that ZETA Division is your grand finals opponents. So did you expect ZETA Division to make it here? At first, when we were playing scrims, according to scrim results anyways, we thought that, okay, so we expected Poker Face, but again, ZETA showed up and we were caught off guard. So the next question goes to Violet. Before the start of the stage, ZETA said that they don't want to finish third. The team kept that promise, and they're now in the finals. So did you expect to meet Team Falcons in the finals? You know, they're a team that with the caliber of definitely making it to the finals, so we definitely expected it. So in terms of Violet himself, he has a lot of second place finishes in his career, so today's victory must feel that much sweeter if they actually do win, of course. So what are your thoughts on Falcons as a team?
우승 경력이 많은 선수들이 있으니까.
Of course, on the other side, there are a lot of players that have experience winning championship victories. So we are going to stay focused and take this very seriously. So Falcons, the head-to-head record in Stage 1, Falcons was ahead 3-0. Falcons versus ZETA Division. But for Stage 2, they're pretty neck and neck. So how are what's the team atmosphere like today? So our recent scrim results have been really good. And I think that we are pretty excited because of that, but we are going to stay level-headed and we will play the game to win. And as for ZETA Division, how's the team atmosphere on your end? There are a lot of players that are really desperate for that championship win. So we are pretty much pumped. We are very pumped for this match. So of course, only one team can survive and become champion. So can you please say a few words to the other team? We know that ZETA's division is good, but I think we're better. And Violet's response.
그 정뻑 형이랑 크러스트 형도 이제 저처럼 우승이 그때가 마지막에 같이 팀했을 때.
When I was on the same team as Drunk Puck and Krusty, that was his. That was his last. That was the last time that he went. They took second place, so
못바가
This time,
들었습니다.
the championship
결승전에
win is
오기까지
ours.
정말 많은 분들의 도움과 사랑이 있었겠지만 그 중에서도 팬분들이
Of course, there's a lot of fans cheering for both sides, for both teams. So please say a few words to the fans as well.
결승 와주신 여러분들 정말 감사드리고
Thank you for coming all this way to watch the Team Falcons, as well as those that are watching at home.
경기 보여드릴 테니까
And we'll put on one hell of a show, so please cheer hard for us.
네, 그렇다면 제타 디비전도 팬분들에게 한마디 부탁드립니다.
And Violet's word to his fans.
저희만큼 엄청 우승이 간절할 것 같다는 생각이 들어서
So I think that the fans are also just as desperate as us for this championship victory. So we will do our best. And that was a pre-match interview between Team Falcons and ZETA Division. Before we head into this banger of a grand finals between these two teams, I'm going to send it back to G-Clef and Wolf.
Thanks, Quest, for the translations. And both teams
네,
desperate for the win and the championship trophy. And it seems like we will start from Samoa. Samoa chosen by the comps. Now there's no higher seeding on this one, so it's chosen random.
Falcons coming in actually with this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have the higher seed because of the match, the seeding decider. They were third and fourth. So yeah, that's right. I mean, like, coming into a grand finals like this, obviously there are no seeds involved. You have to fight your way through the bracket, but because of the seeding decider, Falcons will actually have the pick on this one for Samoa. I think it's a map here where between different stages of Samoa, you can run very different compositions. You can run the Ramatra, you can absolutely run the Winston dive, you can run the Pharah. So all different types of compositions right now in the Korean meta will be tested here. And I think this is Falcons just saying, straight up, we're the stronger team. We're going to play the map that's going to test you the most.
This is scary because this is testing the back line, especially when we get to Beach. Violet Finn, very strong, but compared to what Fielder has been upgraded so hard through the last weeks of stages, especially the seeding decider and the playoff, Falcons, their backline is so strong that it's really hard to dive them together. So Flora, Alpha E, they need to come on top and show their 110% today, unless Samoa, I think, will be heavily favored for the Falcons.
All for one, one for all, one title, #1 seed. Violet getting revenge on his old coaching staff, Krusty and Jungbook. He mentioned it in the interview. Such an incredible storyline here. Bernard winning his first title on the line here. And for Team Falcons, reclaiming glory after winning Korea last time, but failing at EWC, failing on the OWCS Stage 1 LAN. Now is their time to once again solidify themselves as the best Overwatch team in Korea. And by most people's standards, that usually means best in the world.
Usually has been, and I think for a very long time it has been, and it will, unless something happens outside of Korea, because the best talent just stay here. And so even some of the best Japanese teams, they do have a lot of Korean talents inside, which makes them very strong. So heavily in favor all throughout this week. Has been 4-1 head-to-head for the Falcons. Never a 3-0. It has always been the 3-1, 3-2. I expect this one to go at least a 4-2. I'm not really looking forward to a 4-1, 4-0. I don't think that's going to happen today, Wolf.
Yeah, I hope not. And I do think that this series definitely could be close. And we have a ton of fans here. When you and I arrived to go get makeup and stuff at the arena, there were so many people pouring through. It was hard for us to even go up the elevator because there's so many.
Yeah, we missed 2, right?
Yeah.
Because it was full going up, full going down, and we were stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
And we couldn't really go down the stairs because it takes so long, but that's how popular. These tickets, of course, opened a few weeks ago, sold out instantly.
Yeah, sold out instantly. Not a single empty seat to be found. You have fans of both teams here in the audience.
Yep, I had my friends asking for a ticket, and then it was a week and a half ago, I think. And then I asked the staff, and it's already sold out. There's no empty seats.
There's no empty seats.
Bad.
Not a single one, man.
Too
you have
late,
to tell
way
your friend,
too late.
Your friend has no passion trying to ask like 10 days before.
No, he
no
tried
offense to your friend,
he
but...
tried to get the seat, and he couldn't because it was instantly sold out.
Sounds like he needs to get a turbo button for his F5 key for watching those. We do have a small update for you guys in that the Falcons have a small comms issue between the players for their sound. So making sure that that gets resolved, obviously, before we go into this first map of Samoa. Bernard, obviously, when he started off in the scene long ago, very known for his D.Va and his Zarya, because back then he was a flex tank player, right? Now he's moved into, in Overwatch 2, the main tank player, and he avoided playing a lot of the D.Va when it was kind of running back up into the meta. But he played it in their seeding decider matches. He played it at the end of regular season. He's shown some extra flexibility there. We have seen some Zarya comps as well in this meta where you run Juno, Zarya, Ana. You just non-stop heal the Zarya. You put the nano boost in. You put down the orbital ray, and the Zarya just does insane damage. I don't know if we'll see something like that on Samoa, but I feel like of the maps, it is definitely the most viable one.
Right.
On Control is definitely the most viable map type to see something like that. I wonder if they have something prepared like that.
D.Va's so good. Even the Overwatch director mentioned that D.Va might just be nerfed in the upcoming week with the World of Warcraft. So that's how strong D.Va is right now. On Samoa, it's really good because especially whichever map we go into, Echo, Pharah, D.Va just straight up line up along with the DPS. One headshot from the DPS, and the D.Va can just go for the finish. And D.Va would still just jump back out, not jump back, just roll out of the way.
Yeah,
that has been the D.Va so far.
The thrusters also are super good at chasing down not only the Echo, but the more common Pharah right now, which is incredibly strong in this meta. We're seeing a lot of Pharah dive, and it's very difficult to try to use something like a Cassidy with a damage follow-up to deal with the Pharah. And heroes like Ashe also can struggle to take the Pharah out just simply because she can actually cause so much disruption, and you can get two-tapped. If there's any other damage onto the Ashe, you're just going to die, so it's very difficult. It's much easier for the Pharah, and so D.Va can be a great response there, and we've seen it a lot in Korea used that way. We've seen it in other regions used in dive compositions, so we have been told the audio issue is solved, so I imagine we're going to be starting pretty soon here, G-Cliff.
I think so. I think Bernard, Hanbin, those two choosing a D.Va or a lot less Winston since the nerf, and also the dive potential with the Jungle Queen. I think we have to mention that also. Not just the tank, with the kick with the Juno, the support lineup, is it mixed with the Brig? Is it mixed with Ana? Some teams just decide on different, not just on the map, some teams just think Brig is stronger or sturdier on the back, or Ana a lot more potential for the nano. It depends on what the DPS lineup is. There's so many comps that you can pull off on Samoa. It's quite different than just one stuck meta from before.
No, absolutely. That's what I love about it. Volcano Ramatra is so prevalent. Obviously, you can run the EMEA, and it's almost time, G-Cliff. I cannot believe it. We have gotten this far. It's been a year of Overwatch. We're in our second Korea finals. We have a clear favorite in the Falcons, but ZETA Division, it almost looks like they just want it more. They haven't had it. Bernard's never had that title. Violet's never had it. They played for so long.
They want it. Both teams want it desperately, especially ZETA Division coming out clutch. Going for the grand finals. Let's begin the grand finals of Korea. Team Falcons versus ZETA Division on our first map, Samoa.
All right.
All right,
I see some Mays. I see some Mays. I see some Junos.
I think the key hero is actually Mei today. Not enough people mentioned because of the nerf on Tracer. A lot of people think that Mei's just better for control, flashpoint, and also escort. Mei just goes in so many different maps, and you can take some responsibility off of the tank and make it easier. Also provide some damage.
Okay, Bernard looking like he wants to play the D.Va here out of the gates. And we'll be able to rush over here with the teleporter. Flora actually going over to Sombra. A very surprising pick here. And not incredibly strong into what Team Falcons are running. So this first team fight here is so critical for ZETA. If they don't start to snowball this, he will probably have to swap. Let's see what you can find in this backline. See a hack onto Hanbin would be massive. Or trying to burst down the backline.
And Chio going back. They want to swap? Okay, they're swapping. They don't see one. Either it's Widow or Sombra. I think they feel it. There's D.Va dive. With the Sombra dead proper instantly. Hanbin though going for the trade. Violet down. The back line, but Hanbin still keeping it intact in the middle. Yeah, it's me with the block. Buying some time and great wall.
Yeah, that was really nicely played.
But Bernard chase down. Falcons still strong. And they do have the first fight, ZETA Division. Their initial tactic, they did have a strategy, but they didn't quite work out this time.
They had the numbers advantage, and obviously they have a faster dive with this D.Va, so they get the initial pick, but they just don't have the sustained damage. And then they start getting a little bit split as Fielder returns. Look at how much ult charge is able to build 50% of that rally, dwarfing Violet massively. Did a ton of damage there, and Alpha E was isolated. Once he ice blocked, the fight was over. He was going to be able to buy time, get some ult charge, but he was definitely not going to be able to save the play. And now, outranged and dead.
Alpha E With just Flora, I don't think they have damage. Entire team just diving in together. If you're stuck on the back, then you might be caught from the Sombra. But if you are with the team diving in all the way together, especially with the great Juno comp, Flora alone can't deliver. There she is. Getting shot by Proper again!
Proper is actually
DPS
having
down.
an insane performance here.
Insanely well done.
Bernard, it's not worth remeching here. This fight is lost. He is going to go for it.
Maybe change into a different hero now, even with that self-destruct. Just tossing that away as we hit about 47% for Falcons to
They
0.
need a pick on this turn. They need a
They
pick so
do.
desperately. Hack on the Stalker.
But still, ice block. Game in time. No, not enough damage. Blizzard, everything tossed down for the Falcons. They want to keep this 100 to 0. And getting that number soon enough, 82%.
Going for the remake needs a pick right afterwards. If they can get a pick, if they can actually take Stalker out with that hack, then there's a winnable fight there. Flora can EMP, they have the Blizzard, they have the tools, but they all in on the remake. And now, yeah, they have a Blizzard, they have an EMP to try to set up for it here, but this is Team Falcons basically guaranteed 99% at worst case scenario. And they can just use their ults here defensively if they find a pick here for Proper again, or just hold them and say, Zeta Division, your move.
Yep, hacked. Flora close to that EMP. That's what they're looking for. After the hack, no potential for the extra damage. And another green wall there. Alpha E with a Blizzard. Looking for that EMP potential. Violet caught down with the Rage. Coming down for Geo. Flora not delivered. No EMP this time. It might just end without an EMP. These members gone.
And I think you're right, G-Clef. No EMP, not a chance, not a prayer for Zeta Division. This one, amazing wall from Stalker. Cuts off the entire team and the approach. They know the EMP is ready. They know it's the one way they can really lose this fight and get crushed. The wall cuts the team in half, so they have to hold the EMP. They could have used it there, but it would have been very low value, no follow-up. So it just ruins the entire team fight. And the best Mei players here in Korea have figured out that the wall for Mei, the ice wall, is basically an ultimate in itself. And Stalker crushes them there. Chio's ultimate timing as well. When the dive comes through, the orbital ray, not on the point, but enough to keep them sustained up and win the fight. Fielder gets the first pick. Zeta Division really, really regretting, I think, some of the ways they played those fights, especially the remake there from Bernard.
And the headshots coming down from Proper as we go into Volcano.
We're Mauga diving with an Echo to come with this one. This is a very unique way to play Volcano.
And hopefully, I think he wants to stay off to the side. Does those hits scan? Proper, but changed over to Tracer though. Tracer Mei, not exactly what they wanted. Coming down from Zeta Division.
He's going to have to layer some poke in here, but look at the
55.
right clicks already knocking him down low.
Been down. Proper's been doing some other damage. Off to the side, feels safe. Controlling the point.
Another great ice wall from Stalker.
It's way too much. Way too much coming down from Falcons. Zeta Division has to go back. What else they got? They will get caught from all the way back near the respawn.
And Zeta Division just lost against the dominant force that we're seeing from the Falcons. Alfie got 40% of a dupe, but like you could see he wasn't really layering that much damage and was being chunked out by Stalker's right clicks. Proper gets that backline pick and it's just all over, keeping them denied with another ice wall. And Team Falcons up to 20% here on this point, but more critically, half of a Blizzard as another swap comes through. Flora
to Sombra?
Back to Sombra again. This is quite an unusual tech he's brought in here to Samoa.
Coming down from the scrim results.
Yeah,
Let's see if it shows on the stage. Not yet. So far, as we continue things on Volcano. Geo hacked. Go kill coming through as Afi pushes the front line. Stalker dead. That's one great sign for the Division for that potential flip. The side rotation. Been hacked, but the damage is good from Proper. It takes a lot more.
This is unreal!
That was 4v5!
Unreal that Falcons win this fight. They had no control. They had no ultimates. The Mei was the best chance they had at defending that fight, and yet still not enough damage here for Zeta Division. No Blizzard of their own. Even with the hack coming through, Flora just doesn't have the DPS output. Bernard slowed up, chunked out of the fight. And even though they went for the EMP, or rather the hack onto Chio, he's still able to escape. He's still able to live long enough to actually reset for Falcons.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Unbelievable team fight win.
Hanbin keeping it together with the barrier, keeping his teammate together. Here's Sombra still here.
No great hack targets in this comp either. Looks like it might go
Hanbin
for
has to be the
Hanbin.
target. There it is. Oh, finally it worked this time. The wall, not enough to save him. But it was the 5v4. Raise up. Falcons up for this fight. Proper. Cost it down. One on trade. So is that enough for the Falcons? Stalker does have the Blizzard. They want to use it, but too many members gone already. I don't think he wants to really deliver this right now. Should be going to the Zeta Division for the first flip First flip in this map.
First flip and first team fight win for Zeta Division. They've been able to get a few picks, but they haven't been able to solidly get control, get a team fight win on their side. Pretty ult efficient for them, but Falcons also holding on to those critical ultimates. And most importantly, they have the Kitsune Rush. They can put Hanbin and Stalker into position to set up better ults here. Flora, we got to track his angle here. He's on the backside. His EMP needs to be valued here to hold this point. Good angle.
Goes all the way in back.
Doesn't
Here
commit.
it is. Has the rally, Blizzard, everything up. And without Hanbin, should be good to go for Zeta Division unless proper Stalker hits hard. As they will slowly get taken down. Falcons, I think they had an idea with the rush. The fielder coming in out by Zeta Division. A lot better setup as they were controlling the point already.
Now, they didn't use the EMP. They used the Blizzard only. The Stalker has the advantage, but he needs to get to the point. With the Kitsune Rush down now, that's your best tool of getting him there. So, going to see a swap from fielder onto the Brigida. This swap does make sense. Now he's just trying to find this backline access. You see the checks here from Stalker. He's spamming right and left click, trying to find this Sombra. Hasn't found him yet. This angle could be huge.
Look at Stalker. Trying to chase him. She should be the target on the back. Ice wall.
Oh, he's revealed.
Making sure they find the Sombra first. Bit of a ring around the rosy isolation. Coming down, Hanbin with an annihilation coming up hard. There's the EMP, 3 men. Can they find the right target? Can they have enough damage with 2 down? No more DPS. With the annihilation, Hanbin is going to feel safe, and that was not the moment for what they wanted here, as we still do have 99 flip for the Falcons. If they win, that will be 2-0 for the Samoa. And it seems like it is going to be like it.
Just going to have to go for a Hail Mary here, and his bomb's not even on the point. That's it, G-Clef.
Reaper comes back, but who else is going to come? It walks to the side. A fade down, and no one else. 2-0 win on Samoa for the Falcons. Looks very dominant today.
And looking just a whole tier above, to be honest. That was not even close. And even the fight they lost, they chose to lose. I mean, they could have tried to commit ultimates, and maybe there was a way where they win that fight, but instead they're like, well, that's a high-risk play to commit ults. Let's just back away, not actually commit to the fight further any ultimates, because that gives them an ult lead that we don't want to have. I do think Zeta had some good calls. I'm not going to agree with the remake on the first mat, or the first stage rather. I'm also not going to feel very good about the Sombra. You know, like I walk out of
that's the question that we all have right now.
I walk out of this going, you know, your opponent has Ramatra. You can get hack value on a Ramatra to prevent him from going Nemesis, to prevent him from doing all that extra damage, because, you know, when you're in Nemesis form, you basically become so difficult to kill. You're punching through the entirety of the front line of your opponent. If you get into the back line, it's like 100% over. And the part of Ramatra that's so strong right now is the fact that Juno's single target healing with her left clicks keep him so safe. But if you don't actually kill Hanbin instantly, he will never die. Like, the Sombra doesn't do enough damage. You have a Mei, her right clicks aren't going to be enough damage. Her left clicks certainly aren't. Even if you freeze him, Juno just in the back, like, boop, 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 boop. Full health Ramatra. No killing this guy. So you had to actually get either backline picks here with this Sombra, which is so difficult to do in this meta. With how well they were checking, Stalkers constantly checking. We saw the Flora first-person view, and it's like, detected, constantly. He just can't find the angle.
Just toss it on the ice. Where are
finding
you?
him, yeah. It's so difficult to play Sombra into this.
At this level, it doesn't work, right?
I don't think it was the right call, and I think that we probably won't see it again, but maybe they were like, okay, this is working well in scrims. We're going to stick to our plan. We prepared super well for this. This is the play. If it fails, we change it up. We go to the second map.
Well, Plan A certainly didn't work with the Sombra from Zeta Division, but they do have the second map pick, and when we come back from the break, we will find that out soon enough. Welcome back, everyone, to the grand finale of Korea. Falcons leading 1-0 right now, ZETA Division. Didn't seem that close, to be honest, on Samoa. And I think a lot of you guys also had some more to say about the Sombra, but I think it's one showing for the first map. I think they had some plan A, didn't work. Okay, it's the first to 4, so we have to think about the long plan here.
Now, ZETA have 3 perfect win rate maps. They haven't played much Eichenwald, but they have teched that in. I think it's a 1-0 on that map for them. Circuit Royale haven't lost on that map. Junkertown as well, a map where they found a lot of success. So Flora has the ability to shine on these long-range hit scan maps, Circuit Royale and Junkertown. We did see Proper really play very well, though, so it's very scary to think that, you know, you were going to go toe-to-toe with Falcons on a map like this. We'll see if they want to take one of those or if they want to try to run the Sombra on like New Junk City or Suravasa. I really don't recommend it. I don't advise it, G-Clef, but we will see what their game plan is going to be here. I think maps you 100% want to avoid are going to be Blizzard World, Coliseum, which has been a fantastic map for Falcons, and you yourself have had such poor results on it as ZETA. Definitely don't want to take us there. New Queen Street could be something they tech in because they have a secret strategy there, but I just wouldn't expect that.
After Control, after a match like that, I don't think you want to go into Flashpoint. I think Hybrid Escort should be the choice. Either we go into like somewhat of an off map, Eichenwald, Kings Row. I think if you just match the power, continue the momentum from game 1, I don't think you're having a winning choice on Kings Row. Maybe Paraiso, Circuit Royale, Junkertown, or even Shambali, which ZETA Division just did not play the entire season.
Yeah. You know, when you look at picking Flashpoint, another reason why I would not recommend it is because it's not very powerful in terms of denying your opponent's map picks. You get to take one of the 2 maps, so they get, you know, oh, they couldn't pick the other one, but we very mostly see Suravasa right now.
You know what I worry, Wolf? Flashpoint is Sombra doable. If they really want to put out Sombra before she gets nerfed, I'm assuming she's going to get nerfed in the near future.
I just don't think... I think with how well Korean teams can play Juno on single-target frontline tanks, you just don't have enough damage with Sombra. You know, she used to be a hero that did a lot more damage, did a lot more utility. Her EMP was a lot easier to hit, and it was higher value. In this current meta, though, with all the solo tanks having so much armor that you don't delete with your EMP, it's just so hard to kill Hanbin in these moments, right? Since we have map selection up, I don't think we're seeing any subs going to the second map, so no hints to be given there. And I think Hanbin will be staying in. Obviously has changed up his identity as a player so much. Used to just be the guy who played the off tanks because Smurf is so good at playing stuff like the Winston, but now Hanbin has been kind of a mainstay on so many of these maps. And obviously we'll play the Winston himself if we do end up going to something like Dorado. So we will have to wait and see when that map selection comes through. Circuit Royale, if you pick that one, it feels like a bit of a Hail Mary. Like you're really saying Flora is going to get this done. Alpha Yi has the ability to play Genji. His Mei has been pretty good. And you're basically saying straight up like...
That's a big challenge.
I can play far on defense. We can play the Alari. But if you do fail and you get tested in that way, it feels so hopeless going into the rest of the series.
It is, because Hanbin's Ramatra looked really strong, especially with the cover from the teammates. But Bernard's Ramatra, well, we saw Sigmas in the first few weeks, but after that, okay, it is Circuit Royale, and ZETA Division willing to pick this after feeling the power of Hanbin's Ramatra. So I think they might be thinking something else.
Let's also not forget how incredible Stalker's ice walls were. I think we will probably end up seeing a Sigma mirror here, at least to start things off. We'll see if ZETA is going to go for attack or defense first. They have that option to pick as well. If they go for attack first, they can get a taste of what Falcons thinks is strongest on this meta, because we've seen Violet play Alari here.
Yes.
The Pharah that Alpha Yi has been so good at can be used on defense with the Alari. But again, that's kind of dated. That's kind of old. That was, you know, the big news 3 weeks ago, but we're not living in that meta anymore.
Yeah, even the Sigma is kind of old, saying that, especially after the Juno, even just after the seeding deciders, we had a lot more Ramatras kicking in for all the teams. Some teams playing Drunken Queen even, just to go for that extra commanding shout. But let's see what they deliver. Bernard, I think he really has to come up hard if he wants to deliver D.Va from the start. I think there will be a big challenge. Even D.Va, you saw that HP bar just melting down in the front.
Yeah, he just kept getting isolated and was shut down super hard.
How do you beat Stalker's Mei? I think that's the big question for ZETA Division. If they have the answer, I think they have to show it right now on Circuit Royale. Map number 2 as we go kick things in back. Falcons leading 1-0, ZETA Division. They have to come back hard. All right, Wolf. They chose the map. And let's see who's starting first on attack. Okay.
Will be the side of formerly FTG. Zeta Division will attack first, playing a little piano to keep the spirits high. I don't think we'll be seeing a Wrecking Ball attack here, but the May Ashe does feel a little bit more likely. On the defense, though, we already have that confirmed. It is going to be the Ramattra. Like you said, the Sigma feeling a little bit dated right now. Proper, loving to play on this dive venture on the defense, and they have a ton of healing. They're going to even have Fielder on this Ana to keep this Ramattra super healed up. You can't ask for more single target healing in this meta than what they have. Breaking Hanbin is going to be what they try to do. And they're not going for Widowmaker here. It's just going to be the Ashe to start things off here for Flora. Finding line of sight against no enemy hit scans. Oh, no, G-Clef, I'm worried about this. Because I was like, look, the one thing they have is a range advantage. That's the one thing they had. They don't have it now.
To pressure Venture when Venture burrows in. I think that might be a lot more Korean teams has been using Venture, not just
good ice wall.
Oh, good hack. Pretty good setup, but everyone around him healed back up. Good buy-up from Fielder.
Look at his health! Ambit's full health again! He
Yes.
just doesn't care. The single target healing is too much for the Sombra. And once again, Hanbin goes down to 1/3, and then bam! Bionade comes through, Geo left clicks him, he's back to full. Proper though, there's that hack.
Though. Looks a lot better. Second target. He's down. That's much better of a start for Zeta Division. Gets another one. Hanbin after the Pew, and
You
the cover
called it.
has been down.
You said, you know, hack the Venture when the Umbro comes through, eliminate them first, and then maybe you can win that fight. And that's exactly how the second one went. Great ice wall from Alpha Yi finally coming online in this series. And Flora builds 56% of an EMP off of one single fight. We'll see what he can get done here on this next one. Stalker comes here for the reset. They're looking for hill control.
I love it. They still... Flora. She all the way in the back with a Diva.
Still
Okay,
alive,
way too much cover. Coming back with Hanbin, isolated on the other side with Blizzard, Alpha E. Already getting so much done for the team.
And everybody chases the support, and then it's just a wipe on the other side. Very close fight here, but Zeta Division will come out on top just barely. It was a very close one. And the big thing is they get the first cap, 4:30 on the clock. Stalker also committed his Blizzard there, which was a bit questionable, especially trying to catch a Diva who could have eaten the Blizzard. And no, he just got the remake. Yeah, he's unbabied.
I was about to say.
He is now no longer a pilot Diva. He does have self-destruct for the remake for this next fight. And it is going to be all about what Stalker can get done with this next ice wall. Flora again lurking on the backside. EMP almost ready.
Translate locate all the way back. As it now, Hanbin, Annihilation early up. Want to be hacked. Geo with the raid will be getting the extra healing. Flora with the EMP, 5-man, and there we go. Zeta Division finally hit that big mark. It was about the timing. And with everyone staying alive, just Stalker.
With how strong Orbital Ray is right now, you have to trade Orbital Rays. But what Zeta Division's comp allows is to actually push through it, whereas Falcons have to group staying on top of it, and that's when you're going to get massive EMP value. I think that fight showed us the power of Sombra. You all want to stand on a Ray? Cool, you're standing on my EMP
now
as well.
on Sombra.
Yeah,
this might be the
swapping.
new meta that we will have in upcoming Asia soon enough. Cool. Hanbin hacked, Bernard also hacked because of the tanks, how sturdy they can be. Using the hacks to basically get them pinned down. But on the back has the rally at ready. Use it all the way at the end. We'll have the Blizzard come down from Alpha E early up. No one really frozen. Fight's just going all the way down as the members of Zeta Division now getting chased all the way back.
Just
Hanbin
finding another fight where there's just no way to take him out. He's just too healthy. He's too tanky. And we'll see Bernard reset off the side of the map. He's not going to use his remake in a lost fight like this. We'll just be trying to rejoin his squad. Now, in terms of ultimates here, this time Falcons win this fight basically ultless and will now have advantage here for Proper. He also has hill control and high ground comes with that. So much easier for him to look for an EMP. Look at this angle.
What about the counter EMP? Are you ready for this, 4-man? Proper translocates. Going back. The Finn Violet caught. And that will delay a little further. And by some time for Falcons.
It's very difficult to check that location where Proper was because he's up on that little alcove.
It's where the Widowmaker is usually.
Yeah, you can't really easily check that as Bernard is holding his own here, but he should retreat. And he will get out, it looks like here, but I mean, we're almost in spawn camp territory. That was an incredibly one-sided fight with the EMP. Now they have Blizzard on this corner. Flora trying to get his own EMP, but you only get so many of those amazing ones. And they can use it again during the orbital ray in this next fight, but I think the Falcons are very aware of it this time.
Flora almost EMP ready, 7% away. Laying it. Great ice wall. Trying to get Hanbin again with the focus fire. There's the first kill with a lot of utilities spent. Now that is all good to go because they got others on the side as well. 4 kills coming through. Stalker last to go with the ice block.
The ice wall was pretty good there from Stalker to actually deny the initial part of the fight. But once it was down, Zeta Division could just hard force their way through. They had Blizzard advantage. They had the rally, and that extra health meant so much.
To contest again. Flora ready with an EMP off of the wall.
I don't know if they should contest
Hanbin caught in that ice wall. He was basically choked into that wall.
Yeah, I don't think they should have gone for a contest there because not only is it going to be the point, but it's going to be some free distance here. Zeta Division don't have to commit anything to this. And now Team Falcons really in a bit of a pickle. I mean, they narrowed down the time bank quite significantly, but Zeta Division are in a position where if they win 2 fights here cleanly, they might actually just end the map. Now, Flora...
Sombra versus Sombra?
Yeah, Flora on a good angle, but decides to go back, translocates his way back to rejoin the team. Proper needs a little bit more charge to match him. And this time, Fielder will have that rally advantage. EMP out early. 4-man.
Still good to go, and you can just... I don't think they were expecting this timing.
No, they really weren't. They didn't expect the wraparound, and now Stalker, because the EMP hits so many, it's a waste to use the Blizzard there.
Done.
Yeah, that was so clean from Zeta, and now the Sombra is working. Now they have the momentum. Now they have control, and Proper has his own Sombra ultimate nearly ready. But Blizzard needs to be used now to defend this point.
Yeah, but it has to be careful because D.Va is there right in the middle.
Yeah, you can't just lob it in.
Yeah, looking for that.
I mean, I know exactly where Stalker is. Like, he's been spotted. If he gets hacked and then Bernard dives on him, he is dead. He's hacked. And here comes Bernard!
Only block, forces that off. Can really get the target. But with the ice wall, trying to isolate Hanbin again. Proper ready with that EMP on the back line. Here it is. They really find the right damage. Let down, Bernard, being chased.
Great handling here of this fight by Falcons. They kept Stalker alive. He reacted quickly, was able to get his ice block off. When Bernard's dive comes through, just has enough time to get that off. And then they re-engage there with the EMP. Proper's flanking. Zeta Division get caught off guard. Now, Zeta Division still have a huge amount of ultimates. They have a big ult advantage. In this longer fight, we'll probably see Flora's EMP. Rally could start things off here. But this is the fight to decide whether Zeta Division finishes this map or not.
Going to be crucial. Flora coming close. Less than a minute now. 40 seconds on the clock for Zeta Division to get that 3 if they can. Proper switching over to Ash.
I like this swap a lot. Just outranging them here when he has line of sight in this corridor. You can see here it's so difficult to actually poke out. Pulling Bernard through.
Proper almost has gone. Wasn't actually a kill. Raising down for bows and every ultimate coming down with the
EMP.
EMP just a little too powerful. And even with the raid, no one's on there. No one's on the top.
They just get wiped by that EMP. And after such a good handling from Team Falcons there, but it was a really nice dive there from Bernard. The amount of ways that we've seen Zeta actually identify a swap, identify a risky position and punish. They did it to Stalker when he was on the high ground. He escaped, but it was a clean punish there. And then obviously in that last moment, punishing the Ash. EMPs like this one here from Flora have been so impactful when everybody's grouped up for Orbital Ray. And I think that there's 2 main reasons why. Like, Sombra struggles into the Ramattra for the reasons we've talked about so far, where he has too much healing, it's hard to kill him with right clicks. But if you're trading Orbital Rays and you have 10 players standing in the same about EMP-sized point, then the EMP is going to be high value. So we didn't get to see that on Control because Zeta never were able to manage that ult economy. But here on Circuit Royale, the Juno is such a must pick, and Falcons need that ultimate to match when the ult from Finn comes through, that the value is just so high. The other thing that you get from Sombra is constant vision of where everyone's hiding. Where is Stalker trying to drop his Blizzard? Where is he lurking? He's trying to look for an angle to get past Bernard on D.Va so he can actually drop that Blizzard. Then Bernard's like, no, I'm going on you because I know exactly where you are because Flora is telling me where you are. So the vision advantage, the information advantage is massive. Defensively here, though, will be Ash to start here from Flora, trying to use the range advantage to try to chunk out this Mei from a distance.
And Bernard finally using the Ramattra.
He's a very good Ramattra player.
Off of the D.Va. Going for the defense first. Proper now up for the Sombra start. He's feeling it. One of the weaknesses for that Ramatra has been Sombra. That's why we had the Sombra Tracer for a very long time.
He sees, though, there's no Sombra on the other side and just goes back and swaps himself. Back to Venture, trying to get backline access a lot more safe because there is no Sombra to hack him this time.
ZETA Vision, though, too much damage coming in to the line of sight. And the backline gone early. Falcons still staying 5-man strong. Hanbin pushing a little. Only Fielder down.
They don't have the same healing output for their Ramatra that Fielder can provide with this Ana, so you end up seeing, you know, Violet struggling to keep him alive, ZETA Division feeling like they're never going to be able to match the ult charge here, so they will swap now back to Sombra. And if Finn can actually Ray at the same time as Geo, we can see that EMP value. Obviously depends on how quickly he can build said ultimate. More Finn than Flora. Flora should be able to have to contest the point. This is a very critical moment here for ZETA to slow this push down ultless.
Keep down. Proper. Venture. And Hanbin up front. Isolate. Not get isolated by the wall. Taking some damage, but still feels okay after getting hacked. Backline still feels strong. Looking for that Flora.
I think this
not
is
revealed. Good hack. Still the Nemesis, keeping him alive. And the Ice Ball is actually good for both. And this is the thing, Geo, able to heal so much that there's a Ray. With the Annihilation, they will be okay. Violet couldn't really hit that rally before, even with that Blizzard. ZETA Division, they're losing members left and right.
Yeah, that should be the cap to come through. Unfortunately for ZETA, they weren't able to actually get Finn's Ray to match, and I think that was one of the critical parts. They had a good start, you know, and they bought a lot of time. Alfie was able to get his Blizzard, but it ends up getting nothing. And if Finn gets a Ray there, then they probably get the EMP. In that longer fight, Flora gets just another clip through onto Hanbin, and then boom, he's got it. So close yet so far here for ZETA, but it's basically the same time bank here for both squads on the first cap.
And Sojourn, proper using hero again and again. I think that's already a 4th hero on the series. Division keeping that Sombra close to that EMP to dominate on that team fight. Another hack coming through on Hanbin.
This time they have Ray advantage, just gonna toss it in.
Stalker on the back, the Blizzard, perfect chance to get the freeze target, but the EMP! Oh my god. This is what ZETA wanted.
Yeah, I think
on
that
Samoa.
Falcons, I think Falcons probably should have played a little bit more respectfully around that Blizzard, especially when you consider that Finn did have the orbital Ray down, so just kind of all clumping up there once again. But it's essentially an eco push, right? They get wiped, they reset, they go again. And Proper is very close to that overclock, which with the enemy team having no long-range hit scan to answer him, it is going to be pretty high value if he can get that LOS. And this is quite a stifle push, though. Time is running against the Falcons.
Run line, Proper hacked. Nar. Pop it yet. But with Proper down, I don't think Annihilation is needed or required for this fight. The next isolation, the Stalker on the... We'll buy some time with the ice block. Getting hacked, everyone in the corner, all the way back to the lineup. Kind of gone on, been hacked away, and ZETA Division is putting that to corners again.
This is actually starting to look pretty scary for the Falcons. They don't have a Blizzard for this fight. Finn is only 20% off of his Ray. And last time, you know, there was a big disparity there, so Finn wasn't able to trade Rays and get that hill control back. But this time looking like a very different story. Just like one more set of torpedoes is almost enough for Finn to actually set up for this. You can see he's trying to launch them over here on the high ground. 10% away.
But this might be different with the overclock available from Proper. This is what they waited for. Falcons. This is their one chance to go.
Finn has
34. Here's overclock. Right clicks. Needs the target. Finn down. That's a distance. Another head jump. Power slides in. Finds both back line. Should be the win for the Falcons.
Ow. But, you know, this is just really pushing them through to full hill control here. There still will be a delay here by ZETA Division, you have to imagine. That's why we see Proper so far up here, trying to deny anyone from getting in for the touch here, but it's going to be so tough. As Violet, I mean, it looks like they're just going to simply give this up. We'll see.
You realize Falcons, there's a lot of ultimates available
here we go.
from the ZETA.
The wall.
Nice wall, perfectly done. But still to contest, 0.8 meters. Blizzard comes down for both. Laura with the EMP hits big on the Falcons. Hanbin down, Fielder, even with the rally. Gets sustained with the 2 gone, who are sturdy, who can soak damage. The 2 targets are gone. Falcons, they have to retreat and come back again.
This is worst case scenario for the Falcons. Now, I really like this Sojourn tech because what its purpose is to basically burst through the orbital ray healing. When you have overclock and you have those railgun shots, as we saw in that last fight, you don't care about the orbital ray healing. You're like, well, it's a little bit too slow compared to my DPS, and I'm proper. I don't miss my shots. I am going to railgun you guys down. That worked out really well, but now they're back on the low ground here with no hill control, and they don't have any tools to get it because they committed everything trying to get that cap there. They don't have a blizzard. They're not going to have a rally to try to get on this high ground. Flora has taken some interesting angles here.
Yeah, Flora with the Ash, thinking about this defense and also the extra defense for the third point.
Ice Wall's traded here, but unfortunately, Proper's still zoned out.
Looking for that isolation. Yeah, the zoning is important, not having everyone on the slope. And less than a minute now for the Falcons, and they only have the Annihilation. Well, Overclock coming soon for Proper. Need some time. Good luck.
Ice Wall doesn't really catch too many.
Looking for the kill. Ice block away. Still 5 men strong. The Rays coming down for both. Fine. Proper looking for the perfect opportunity.
Doesn't have line of sight, but he's about to get some.
No more Ray. There's a ring.
This is the
Push
angle.
that back. First, it's a second, but not enough to bring him down. He's down for Bernard.
He had to force his way so deep into the team fight to get line of sight that he dies. To trade, though, Blizzard out.
A little strong with the tank for ZETA Division. 10 seconds. Falcons
I'm seeing
will
it,
not be able
G-Club.
to complete a second. And the Sombra tech that we had doubts about from the first Samoa map. Oh man, it worked. Well,
Yeah.
it certainly worked.
I'm seeing it materialize right before me on my hands, G-Clef. A series! We're tied up 1-1. ZETA Division will not go quietly. Down 2-0. Their second map pick working a treat with the Sombra tech to counter the orbital ray. We saw a similar strategy, although very different, to counter orbital ray with the Sojourn coming through with the overclock damage, and Proper had a fantastic opportunity in the first fight. The second fight, he forced the line of sight because he was like, I'm the only one who could do this. It has to be me, but he's on top of a Ramatra and just dies to annihilation damage over time. Excuse my coffee. I got a little bit hyped. I'm going to need a little bit more probably if this series is anything to show, or at least these first two maps are anything to go by. Really smart map pick. I thought it was going to backfire. I thought Proper outclasses. They get outranged. They're going to have problems with their Mei because Proper is just going to keep one-shotting her basically, or two-tapping her from a distance. And it was good gameplay, good Overwatch from both teams, but ultimately the EMP value was so high, and it seemed like Falcons didn't quite realize, as we didn't, exactly what the game plan was going to be there during the Ray trade. That was super sick.
Everyone already saying, oh God, Sombra is back. Sombra was never gone. Never gone. Just somewhat out of the meta, but with Ramatra, I think Sombra is coming back. It's kind of funny how this meta is working out because of the balance. And a lot has there. We've been having a lot of nerfs, especially from the highest tier. So we find the alternatives, right? And then the counter to those alternative, and then the counter to those counters. And we're seeing this rotation back and again. So, and you don't even see Sigma anymore. There's Ramatra, but Juno. Then with the Ramatra, Sombra, and then who counters Sombra, we will continue on. This meta just keeps on evolving as we go through the weeks, and it just happens to be the grand final where it matters the most. 1-1 tied. We've got a series, Wolf, and when we come back, we will have that map number 3 chosen by the Falcons.
walked away in disgust.
I'm sorry, what just happened?
See, look at the health bar just trickling down.
They're running out of time.
Beautiful boot from Junbin. Oh my word. Oh, they're making the hard work.
Look at that shoe coming in with the Nano 2. This might just be enough.
What a day we're having, Wolf. A treat already, 1-1 tied. Falcons, ZETA division. Certainly the tactic again worked, and we were likely to see that Sombra coming back in the series.
Now, on a map like Blizzard World, it's a lot tougher to actually pull off the EMPs. You don't fight with Juno the same way if you're going to be using Juno. So that map, given their win rate on it as well, seems like a map I would expect Team Falcons to go to. On the other hand, you could just go straight to Coliseum and be like, look, we're the better team. This map is complex. We've seen Proper be the stronger hit scan player today, and that's in part due to the fact that Flora hasn't really been playing it all too much. But, you know, we know that also historically he has been the stronger hit scan player, so Coliseum and Blizzard World both make sense to me. I think playing King's Row is super risky considering the variance and the strength of the Sombra comp that we're seeing, you know, evolve in this finals here. So let's see where we're going. Okay, Runasapi, similar idea, a little bit tougher to get that EMP value. Not impossible though. We've even seen Sombra played on this map in Japan. So I would go as far as to say I think this map is wise, but riskier than just picking Coliseum. Now, Falcons haven't had the best record on Coliseum this stage compared to last season. But either way, they're going to take this one straight away.
1-1, 50% win rate on push. The Falcons did play a lot more Coliseum. They still have 50% on, but 2-2. A lot more being played, but I think they want to force Runasapi because not from the beginning section, there's a lot of side angle where Sombra can be really good. But I think what they're looking for is when they go down the slope, there's a big plaza where Sombra can't really attach easily.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what they're looking for the Falcons. Is not letting the Sombra go easy for ZETA division is exactly what they have prepared for this grand finals, and they don't want that to happen. Flora, the one, picking up the glasses, very important.
No subs
Want
here.
to be hidden.
Hanbin still in. We're not going to be seeing Happy in.
That's
We're not
right.
going to be seeing Majed
all.
or anything like that. Nothing crazy
No
here.
Smurf.
No Smurf.
No Majed, no Happy.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. Would love to see if Falcons are willing to throw a curveball and just run the Winston here. Time will tell.
Sure will. Let's get into third map, Runasapi. Falcons' choice. They sweep, and they get the sweep. Starting from this map, let's see Falcons. Still getting that Hanbin on Ramatra.
Crazy that we've evolved so much in this Juno meta that, like, even on Runasapi, it's just, nope, it's Ramatra. It's Ramatra May, and we will see Floor and Proper, at least on this first spawn here, stick with the Ashes, so no Sombra tech just yet. Again, tougher to pull this off. Also very easy to Sombra check on this map, as Violet is kind of doing now, because of all the doorways and choke points you have to operate through in order to flank. So I do think a little bit less value here for sure.
Yeah, we did see some Sojourns kicking in, but I think we felt it from our previous map, Circuit Royale, where even Proper couldn't really put out the maximum DPS. I think Ash is just better, even with the nerfs. Slight nerf, not too much. We're off to the side. Poking from the back as we have the slight rotation. Fielder down first. Falcons losing a little bit of control as Alpha E still poking from the side for the jump and maybe freeze one.
Yeah, it looked like a higher value ball for Stalker, but not really, considering Fielder ended up getting cut off. Hanbin full health, Bernard low.
Dangerous. Nice ball to keeping
ZETA
alive.
They get the bot pushing, which is even if it's only a little bit of distance, quite significant here.
I think they expected a little more. The Fielder down. Go all the way in. Some good cover coming down from the side members of Falcons.
Stalker has done way more right-click damage as well and had that ice block earlier, so he's going to have the fastest Blizzard here.
Flora eats shots. Falcons about half HP all over. But building those ultimates. Ray coming down faster for Finn. Ready to go. There it is, the first one. Gio has it ready. Hanbin annihilation already.
Yeah, he's just going to try to weather the storm here. Then they go for the second Ray, so it'll outlast that
The Blizzard
ZETA.
coming down earlier a lot. Oh, Stalker. Luckily he found the head first. Hanbin responds better. With the annihilation still being online.
Bernard just didn't have his. The annihilation will buy you a bunch of time during that initial Ray. They have the second Ray, and even though Stalker dies after tossing the Blizzard out, it's value enough to actually get them back control of this cart and take the lead here. Slow going, obviously. The very beginning of the map definitely can be turned on its head. The distance, once ZETA comes back out of spawn, and Alpha, you will have that Blizzard advantage. Look at Proper. He knows they have to funnel out here. He's going to see what damage he can layer through. So close to the Bob. He and Flora basically neck and neck on that one. And he's going to back up here to where they have line of sight in this corridor.
It's not that Flora is playing bad, it's just that Proper is keeping every single line so hard that it's really hard. There's a rally and a Bob. Early up from Falcons. Trying to get this push a little further. Violet down on the side. Stuck in the room. Still feeling okay with the behind the barrier. Oh, ZETA division just caught.
And their Blizzard does virtually nothing. Took so much damage on the approach. Without Violet, it's really hard to win that fight. You know, just fall down like a house of cards once you end up losing one member in a meta like this. It's just so snowball-y. It's about as close to GOATs as you could ever hope for. A lot of people are calling it Junotes recently because it does feel that way.
No, let's not name it
We're not gonna do that, but I have seen some people do that. And yeah, it is very similar. It reminds me.
Going after the checkpoint. Going in hard.
Good ice wall.
Big
Hanbin's in trouble.
Seems like at Falcons they might just keep this team up, keep fight up.
Proper though? What?
The Ray annihilation? ZETA, they still want to fight Proper on the back of all things.
Oh, Finn drops down his ult as well.
This might just get worse for ZETA division. Let's see, Falcons taking a lot of damage. They have less sustain now, the Ray being on the other side. Proper, receive that healing.
Hanbin's still full health, man. He's gonna drop down his ult.
Both teams willing to contest and to sustain, or at least buy some more time.
This is looking rough for ZETA. Freeze is coming through on the Blizzard. And once again, Falcons deny ZETA, break the rules. A lost team fight, it seemed like, but Hanbin was down at like 20% health, and then Flora changed targets. He's like, oh, my team's got this. Oh, there's a lot of healing on the other side. You've got to actually kill the Ramatra. We saw his first-person view. He just looked away. He's like, I don't need to. Cool guys don't look at explosions. You probably should check that, though. Hanbin didn't die, and they end up winning the fight. He goes back up to full. He has his own annihilation. Stalker's Blizzard is amazing. And now we're looking at almost 100 meters here for Falcons.
Finn brought down, and Flora, Proper. That's still a 2-1 trade. Falcons, Stalker, this is the same. They try to be the block in the middle. Rally coming down for the fielder. And still Falcons, they're sustaining this. Even on top of the Blizzard. Hanbin somehow will still survive. And if you let this Ramatra, if you let Hanbin, he will deliver the damage.
Yeah, he absolutely is. He is on fire, as the game indicates here, and he's doing so much with, I was going to say so little. I mean, he's had some rough fights where he's had to get a lot of healing, but he's been given all the resources. You know, Proper doesn't need help. He doesn't need resources. Hanbin's getting all the heals, and he is just holding the line. They're going to let the bot roll back here and try to get this corridor here, again, where Proper has control. This is what the observers are showing. Actually, it does feel forced, though, to go for a flank. Lob angle is good. Oh my god,
Gio with a torpedo, extra damage. Proper gets found. The Bop doing a lot more than the Bop should. Oh my god.
I mean, the angle was just so fantastic there. They don't even have a Blizzard for this fight, and the Bop still comes up with 2. Not to mention Proper's massive damage there from the flank. They made it look like, oh yeah, we let the bot go. We're just going to back away. We're going to fight in this line of sight. Nope, it's a flank. Proper is like, I have a better aim than you. I have better decision-making than you. I'm everywhere.
And Hanbin willing to use the annihilation. We knew it from the positioning. He's just going all the way alone. They want to finish this right now. Bernard frozen up. And his Annihilation not really doing as much. Hanbin just outclassing with Stalker.
What
There's a full push.
A full push in the grand finals.
Just about 6 minutes, I think.
Yeah, that was lightning fast. And Stalker, he jumps out of his chair. Maybe he had proper need to go to the bathroom. Maybe that's why they were popping off so hard on that last map. But that was just like our map of Samoa, not even close. No room for Zeta Division whatsoever. Really nice flank there from Proper in the end, though. Sets up the Bob angle. Is seen instantly by Flora, but there's not enough time to deny his Bob. And Hanbin, he is just, they're just the better team at running this Juno composition. The Junotes, which I don't want to call it that. Please, let's not call it that.
You just called it twice.
No, Juno Ramatra. I'm just going to call it Juno Ramatra because there are Ana variants, there are Brigitte variants.
Yes.
Let's just call it, all right, you know, co-streamers out there, like, let's make a rule. It's Juno Ramatra. It's the Juno Ramatra comp. All right, doesn't matter what the DPSs are, because that's interchangeable as well. Because remember when we had GOATs, it was one specific comp, but then all the co-streamers and Avast and all those people were like, oh, it's May GOATs now. I'm like, it's not even the same as GOATs at all. It just has like a Reinhardt in it. Like, come on.
Something's just...
Everything is not GOATs. Everything is not GOATs. Okay, everything is not GOATs.
Everything's not C9. That's the same line of drill.
But some of these players,
specific definition. Okay?
Some of these players are starting to vie for greatest of all time in their positions with how we're seeing Fielder play incredibly well throughout this year. Stalker, Proper, always been consistent. This team has had some bad meta reads in some really critical series, especially, weirdly enough, in seeding decider matches like we saw in Stage 1. When it comes down to this meta, they have it mastered. And yeah, the Sombra was a bit of a wrench into their gears, but when they move it to a map where Sombra is just a little bit less viable, they smash again, just like they did on Samoa.
And then when they do have the map choice, as they will for map number 4, maybe it's a lineup comeback. I think especially it's important from Flora. We've just seen it on screen. Proper Flora, it's a big win for Proper the entire day. Whenever Flora is not on Sombra, I think that's a big tactic. If you are just hiding on the back, you don't need to go 1v1 against Proper as much in the line of sight. I think that should be what they're going for, the game plan of today. Let's see, because they do need to choose the map again, or it's okay, we do have the break call. So when we come back from the break, we'll talk more about the maps. And welcome back, everyone. Falcons on the lead again. 2-1 is the series score. ZETA division when they can't play Sombra. Seems like Falcons are just a step above them.
Now, if you want to play Sombra still, which I'm not sure if I'd advise at this point, but it's been what's working for them the best.
Yep.
I would say Kings Row and Saravasa are your best maps to pick here. Kings Row is very tight on the streets phase, and Sombra can be quite challenging to use actually on A. But we know Alpha Yi is a fantastic Pharah player. The Pharah dive compositions were working incredibly well for Korean teams just a few weeks ago, and still leading into this tournament, and the seeding decider was very common for Alpha Yi. So I'm leaning towards Kings Row. I feel like that would be a map that would make a lot of sense here for ZETA. If you want to go to Eichenwald, if you have a big curveball to throw, then sure, but Proper is just going to eat you for lunch if you pick Eichenwald. I just don't think you want to go there.
Yeah, Eichenwald is just one game of ZETA. Kings Row, 3-2, 60% win rate for ZETA. And the Falcons, Kings Row, 3-1, 75%. Makes sense.
Well, we're going to Kings Row, G-Clef.
I think it's the most, other than Eichenwald, the most Sombra-abled map, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think Saravasa is fine. Like, I think you could play it there, but it's a little tricky. I think ZETA should attack first, and it's risky to do that sometimes for your psyche. Like, you know, going into that motivation-wise, if you get held early, you're like, oh, it's doomed.
It can be rough.
It can be rough. We see teams rarely do it, but I think the element of surprise, are they going to play Sombra? Are they going to play Pharah? The defending team doesn't get to know right away, so you actually get to have that extra X factor going in. So I think because they chose Kings Row, I would say go attack first here if you're ZETA. We have a bunch of ZETA fans here in the crowd. Apparently, people are giving out cookies as well.
Yeah, Chio, Bernard. He's a bubble. His form is bubble. Unbelievable is Bernard. A lot of fans for ZETA and also Falcons on the other side. Man, got lots of cheer flag cards ready to go for the final day. Yeah, got some wins on the board at least. I think that one was crucial, but is it going to work twice and more against the Falcons at this level? We'll see about that.
I think they've given themselves the best opportunity here on this map. It's a map where Alpha Yi can shine. It's a map where Flora can play the Sombra, right? Bernard can play multiple different heroes here. If he just wants to stick with the Ramatra, they can play through him here a lot easier because of the way the map works. Alpha Yi can still play Mei. And for ZETA, you know, if you attack first, if they run the Mei, you just swap to hit scan, you outrange, you poke, you get that A cap early. I think ZETA should be looking for that attack first, G-Clef.
So the attack first. Get that answer soon enough. Well, Falcons trying to steamroll this, get their engines started a little faster as they kick things into Kings Row. ZETA Division's map choice. Falcons up a lead 2-1.
ZETA attack first, and
okay,
Falcons have chosen
Violet Lucio.
We'll see. Don't hold your breath. But Falcons have chosen a somewhat catch-all composition here. Proper stays on the Ashe, so he can deal with a Pharah attack relatively well. Again, tough to use Ashe into Pharah, but can be strong. And they still keep the Mei, they still keep that choke point control. They're going to keep the Juno, super high value, high single target healing. For ZETA, will be Alpha Yi looking for an attempt. It fails, he will swap. And here we go, it's Mei. It's not going to be the Pharah. They're just going to match composition here.
Okay.
And no Sombra, at least not yet. This is the toughest place to use Sombra on Kings Row on A. So it's not really a surprise.
Once you get this push, you can go into the alley and maybe get your heading spots. But not now. Flora has been having a tough time against Proper today, especially on Samoa and Runasapi.
Fielder late shield, the dynamite won't connect.
Pushing them a little bit, not too bad. There's not too many on the high ground. Here's Proper on that window. Forced to be going down.
A lot of healing has to be used on the Hanbin, so he needs to give up high ground here. Forces the ice block. And he actually doesn't have line of sight. This is looking good for ZETA.
And a good catch. Nicely done for Flora. Some shots exchange and Hanbin comes from the side.
The flanking Ramatra. It's a trade, but it's going to be a trade up here for Falcons. Fielder will take a while to run back.
Wasn't really aware of where Hanbin was.
Yeah, they want to actually try to get an initial pick here so they can make sure that Fielder can get back safely before the re-aggression comes back in for ZETA. Violet is down, so that should be enough time.
Again, Falcons just having better picks.
And that means basically no block for Proper with the Brig down, so they just have to completely give up control of Statue.
The vortex timing from Hanbin, disengaging them and zoning them out a little bit. and then getting those headshots. The pair-up is so good from the Falcons, Zeta division. Less than 230 now. There you go, isolation. Again, Hanbin. Proper. One traded. Then also low. Has the raid down though, at least. They make this push work.
I don't think this push is going to work, G-Club. Stalker has his ult available.
Full
They're going to wipe
for Zeta.
And once again, the only times they've killed Hanbin, they've had to use everything to do so.
Way
even
too
the
many
ice wall.
things.
Yeah, and then guess what? Proper's got line of sight. He's like, cool, you guys all funnel into here. Fish in a barrel for me. Now he goes low, but
Almost.
he does have corner here, so we'll be able to back off. Zeta need to somehow get Alpha in a position to Blizzard point. And that's easier said than done.
Okay, some ultimates coming online though. Bob, Blizzard, less than 2 minutes out. Bob is there, Flora. Get that out. Counter Bob from Proper. Come out on top.
Bob's down here for Zeta, and they just did not get a lot of control. Bernard will be healed up. Stalker's Blizzard is the big X factor.
Go toss down on the ground. Stalker walks away. I've been frozen up. Dead. A chance for Zeta division to take back control. And all the way back to the choke point. 6 in. The second one done. This should be the 1F final with 110. Not too bad, but that was a lot of time burnt out.
Yeah, no, definitely. But a big win here for Zeta. Started to look like they were going to lose control, and if they had lost that last fight, they might have just been out of momentum. Little swap. Respawn here on the brig. And Blizzard's traded, so Zeta can kind of comfortably set up here to chip away. Flora is actually sticking with this Ashe, so not expecting that he'll be able to build an EMP for this orbital ray trade. And decides to stick with this Ashe. Might just stick with it for the rest of the map, but a little bit tougher here. Obviously now that they don't have full control anymore as Bernard.
For Bernard. Has Annihilation ready to
Look
go.
at Hanbin, he's just being healed so much, he just doesn't care. He's like, yeah, try me. Look at that. Health pack comes through, he's just like, I am immortal.
Yeah, Nemesis form. True Vortex has Annihilation. Everything under control. Has to pop it this time though with the raid. Willing to push for the Falcons. Win. The shots in front. Some just angle from the side. This time Flora getting caught and the ice wall is good. Hanbin again.
Stalker has the bob, or sorry, Proper has the bob. The wall there from Stalker was fantastic, and again, everything used onto Hanbin. He lives, he annihilates, and then he annihilates. And
literally, yes.
Unfortunately for Zeta, this means that they lose control of this archway, and it's going to be a long way back in. Bob very difficult to use in this part of the map, and Falcons can just kite back to the cart if they bob here. As you can see, the ice wall cuts the team in half again. It's going to buy a ton of time.
Proper. All the way up.
Oh, the flank.
On the back.
Dynamite is
good.
huge.
The damage. Oh my god, that's so much DPS. Pouring out from back. No one saw that coming. Okay, Proper is playing Ashe like a Sombra.
And he's playing it like...
And look, the stagger! Oh, this is painful!
Yeah. Nice heal, by the way.
That's like 13 seconds gone.
Yeah, no, it's rough. I mean, ultimately, like, if they get anyone else, it's like plus 30 off the clock. Looks like they aren't going to be able to chase any further. I want to get Blizzard in. That would be a disaster, but speaking of, they still have this choke point. They still have Blizzard. And Flora needs to be challenging this high ground here where Proper is checking for him. He's like, is he up there? Is he in there? I check with Dynamite. I see he's not. And without Proper being able to challenge him on high ground, he's losing a lot of time. Or Flora, that is. Flora's over here.
Okay, got the shot. Okay, Juno just glides out quickly.
They already realized, though, they wasn't there. They just back out.
Bob in there, Blizzard, both traded. Right in the middle, a lot of frozen targets, but less damage. But he's still in here. Right next to the barrier. That's down, Fielder. Not quite for the Falcons as they used a lot of resources early on. Zeta division actually with the rally, responding better this time.
Yeah, it looks like Falcons maybe were going to get out there because they were able to check, like I mentioned, Proper checks. Okay, Flora's not in the high ground there. And then they're like, that's not right. He might be flanking us. I've used the flank strategy myself. I'm very aware of that. They back away, but they weren't able to build the orbital ray to keep Hanbin and crew alive on their way out. They had to trade Blizzards to try to buy time. They can still, of course, contest here for B. They have their ray at the ready.
Less than 30 seconds, though. They have to make this work with the annihilation. Hanbin should be coming soon, 11% off. Finn will drop down Ray as soon as possible. Bob ready to go for Proper. Ray Bob.
Good ice wall to deny by Alpha E. They break through.
Annihilation on. Bernard early up. Dynamite gets the back line. ZETA Division, their attack might just end right here with less than 2 seconds now. 3 meters to go. No one else touching the payload. That is it. No 2 point, just 1 and 1 meters out.
Definitely feeling a little bit down if you are a ZETA fan going into this series after what was a pretty decisive push through A. Like, they were able to get that momentum going, but towards B, never able to get control. And like the way they're playing around Hanbin, the Falcons are playing way better around Hanbin than I feel that ZETA is playing around Bernard. This was nasty, right? But Flora gets his own a moment later, right? But look at the choke point control he gets from this. It's just so much time off the clock. And even though they win this fight, it's not enough to actually get them B, right? Like, it's not enough to actually control things. And the ult trade favors Falcons because they know how to play around Hanbin better. They have their own Juno ultimate coming through. And the ice walls have just been better from Stalker here as well. Alpha just hasn't been able to make the same impact. Now, this is when Falcons get to have their surprise attack where they can, obviously, as attacker, you can attack. If it doesn't work, you can swap. The defenders don't get that opportunity to swap. So Stalker can look for the Widow shot here initially, then could swap to Pharah if he wants to try to outrange, or could just once again match. We'll go for Mei and Ashe. ZETA Division have to do that catch-all composition that we saw from Falcons here on their defense.
Oh, a little surprise. Juno a little too close to the camera.
It's all right. Mars.
Whoever said Juno was a weak hero. Well, they get a lot of balance change in the middle.
That one YouTube video is never going to stand the test of time. Never will be forgotten. Okay.
Just going to get Sonic Arrow.
We're just going to match. Except one X factor here. Fielder on Ana. So again, more single target heals for Hanbin, plus the burst of the Bionade.
The sleep.
Sleep
and the freeze.
Sleep is relatively useful here too. Yeah, that's a good point. The deny
the purple
of healing.
On the back.
Yeah. Look at how much space they've already bought. And Hanbin just can't be killed because Ana is healing him. Look at Fielder's ult charge. He's just flying ahead. He's like, cool. You ice walled him, but we're still able to find an angle to heal. Fielder low though.
Yeah, that was close. Fielder probably getting very low. Not caught though. One first. Up. Oh, but healing still comes. It's a little too easy. Hanbin is delivering damage. 8 HP. Gets taken down, but Alpha E gone. Flora almost getting down. Hanbin. That's a 4K from Hanbin, I think. No one's able to take him down, even with the isolation.
He's gonna just punch his way to victory.
Is that even allowed? How's...
Well, look, when you have... we've talked about this in Japan, G-Clef, you and I, we've cast it. Ana plus Juno with any
Hanbin's going in.
So unkillable. And look at his health. Watch Hanbin. He's like, cool, I have healers. You've got one healer, and Violet's doing his best, but I can literally be anywhere. I could be on the high ground. I don't care.
This is literally where the job of supports gets a little too tough. When you have a tank just going all the way forward.
He's solo queuing them, but you know what? They're gonna make it happen. And Fielder's about to have Nano, but Proper does get punished.
Just see the swap coming in a while ago. Blizzard willing to 45 this. Fielder does almost have a Nano. Not yet. They get extra damage in. ZETA Division keeping all of their ultimates though. I think that's the big part.
Yeah,
it was not a good trade for the Falcons for sure.
No, definitely not. The Annihilation coming up pretty empty there with the Blizzard as well. But we are going to that raid trade.
Oh man.
Fielder has his Nano. Oh, block though. No LOS. He can't Nano him. No. Nice wall from Alpha Yi.
The Fielder, because of the angle, forced himself in there. Nicely done from ZETA Division.
Okay, that was best case scenario for ZETA Division. Now they have this archway controlled. The Nano boost is denied. Now not really that relevant because it's really difficult to break through this archway. Fielder will still be able to use it in this fight, but you know, the advantage goes to ZETA Division. They're going to have all that extra rally health as well, and they should be able to, especially with their Annihilation, hold them at this choke for at least one fight. Still a decent time. I mean, it's a massive time bank, frankly. For Falcons, his Proper is zoned out, but we'll break this wall. They're dropping down.
For the next target, Fielder does have Nano. For both down, sleep, good to go. For the Falcons, member up.
That shouldn't have happened. Bernard should not have been focused down that quickly,
Flora?
And they didn't even have to use the Nano.
Blows hard. Oh, positioning though. Look at this from the window.
Bionade's too good though. And
but hold on, this is taking a while, and no one's pushing the payload.
Yeah,
okay, someone got on the payload at least. That's Mei.
They got through the choke. They won the fight. And they did it without the Nano, which is insane. By the way, Bernard had Annihilation advantage before this fight. Hanbin just used his. We said it was practically worthless, right? It was wasted. He's got it now. he has it for this next fight, and the Nano, and the Blizzard. Like, ZETA had to use some tools, like there was no choice. And now they are coming up empty here.
Back with Kirko.
This might just be match point for Falcons off this fight.
Violet needs a big pick here. For both away, Bernard needs to have the annihilation soon enough. There it is. Falcons still holding theirs. Lock in front. We're dead. This might not be the best time.
They're committing the Nano anyways.
Still going all the way. Bin looking for that multiple. On his own, but everyone else gone.
And G-Clef, they're pretty split.
Fielder. Hold on to DPS. Proper Stalker coming from the spot. Blizzard even spent to get the stagger, but if they can't...
They just can't kill him, G-Clef! They will not kill him! They will not kill this man! They cannot kill him!
3 meters out. Okay, they're going in with the Ray. Bop out there. ZETA Division, they do have a member. That should be in.
Don't know what I have just seen!
Hanbin, did he ever?
Look at his face!
Hanbin, look! It's just, I'm getting off the stage right now.
Unreal, man. This makes Goats. This makes Goats Reinhardt look like it was made of paper, okay? Even the crowd is like, what the censored word just happened? I mean, there is...
London!
They had nothing except their supports who were very low. Blizzard was wasted, and yet they just keep healing this guy. They just keep healing him. He's like, I don't care. I'm not going to die. My supports have line of sight. They're healing me, and I'm getting healed, and I'm punching people, and I might be punching the ticket to first seed. Oh my God. This is actually insane. What?
In theory, if you go that far, even the supports, they're in the danger zone, right? They have to be feeling the danger and putting some taking some damage from the opponent, but because Ramatra just pushes the entire team back, it's so easy. Support, they just have to move front, heal a single target, and the DPS, they just do their own work. Even without them, they can still drag out that much. Even the Blizzard. I don't know. Maybe Sombra is required now.
I think they should have been willing to run it if they wanted to counter this, because without the EMPs and without the denials of Blizzard, it's really tough. But like the ice wall is also so difficult to deal with that if you end up getting walled out as Sombra and you EMP and then they ice wall the team out and you can't follow up, then you just don't have the damage. Because that was the problem they had on Samoa, right? They have EMP, they have hacks, but the Sombra damage is so low that you just can't kill this guy.
Yes.
So I don't know, G-Clef. We might have thought maybe this is going to be a great series after game 2, but maybe Falcons are just too good at this comp.
Yeah, maybe the tanks are indeed very strong. Maybe that's why we need the tanks to be pulled back a little bit in the upcoming future, potentially. We will see how this goes. 3-1. Championship point up ahead with just one match, one more match. If it goes to the Falcons, we will see what happens in the upcoming match right after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Falcons up 3. ZETA Division only 1. First to 4 on the championship point, and all we have flashpoint either New Junk City or Surabasa Wolf.
Yeah, if this was a best of 5, it would have ended there. But it's a best of 7. ZETA Division, if they win this, can unlock the rest of the maps that haven't been played for the other modes. So they, I think, would like to go to Shambali potentially here if they want to run more Sombra, but it's locked because they picked Circuit Royale.
Yeah,
that was their only win. It can be unlocked, obviously, if they do end up winning this map. But I don't know, G-Clef. I mean, look at the numbers here. Surabasa looking weaker for ZETA Division. I think it doesn't matter which one you go to. If you want to play Sombra, I think Surabasa is better. New Junk City is a lot more open, so maybe you can run something completely different and try to actually threaten the supports. Because if you can't kill Fielder, and it just doesn't matter. Like, they're just going to keep healing Hanbin. And guess what? We're going to New Junk City, so maybe they have a new tech here. Maybe they have a new strat. They better have something, because if you just try to out-Ramatra Hanbin right now, you're going to have a bad time. We've already learned that much.
And also, I think the targeting should be changed, maybe even. Hanbin, there were moments where you could focus him down, but I think proper has to be the #1 goal right now for ZETA Division. This guy is on fire and at a volcano high level of Fahrenheit. She cannot be put down easily or with anything, basically. Flora never looked this weak. Flora's an incredibly good player, but Proper is just doing crazy things today.
Yeah, I mean, Proper is the other issue that they have to deal with. Is they have the superior hit scan, they have the superior support line, they have the superior tank line, and I mean, when you add everything up, I mean, you just have to outstrat them. They did on Circuit Rail. Like, they had the better read on the Sombra. They played it incredibly well, but you can only show something like that once in a best of 7, especially with a limited map pool like this. It is full here. So many ZETA fans. I mean, you could see all the ZETA fans here. Might even have some Japanese fans coming to watch. And they made finals, right? This is a huge opportunity for Violet to beat his old coaching staff, for Bernard to finally lift a trophy, for Violet to lift one. You know, it's been so long since we've seen this team and these players find dominance, but they are not finding it so far in this series. It's not a reverse sweep they need, but it's a near reverse sweep to close this one out. They need 3 more wins. Right now, match point to Falcons. The favorites coming in. They crushed Crazy Raccoon, who thought they were the weaker team because Falcons had a rough start. They had a rough time in the seeding deciders. So Poker Face looked like maybe they were the stronger team at that point in time, but Crazy Raccoon couldn't have been more wrong, as this team looks like they might 3-1 to 4-1 to lift back-to-back OWCS Korea trophies.
Oh, look at that many kills. Oh, Proper. This guy on screen. Good print, by the way, there. Looking to close things out there on Falcons. They're on championship point. Championship map away from defeating ZETA Division and everyone else from Korea to take Korean trophy once again. If they can finish it, that would be the best, or else we'll have the map reset. Some more chances for ZETA Division to come back in the future. And I think with that music, we are ready to go in. Wolf, potential championship map for the Falcons to finish off the first 4 as we get things ready up, loaded up to New Junk City.
Here we go.
Here we go, Wolf.
Ramatra mirror. Flora to Ash. It's going to be a mirrored comp.
Sticking with Maze.
They're just hoping that they can outdo Falcons straight up.
Let's see.
Now, they'll keep Fielder on this brig, so it's not going to be the insane healing they had on King's Row, but
no,
still.
No Echo, no Pharah. Coming down from ZETA Division.
Bernard already chunked super low.
Look at the flag.
Look at the Proper!
Again. He's just okay, being contested a little bit this time. Like it, Flora. Hitting from the back, covered by the barrier. Have to keep Proper down. Okay, Hanbin. First to go. ZETA Division off to a great start. Okay. Finally, a great start.
Yeah, Flora actually with that dynamite pushing Proper away gave him that extra line of sight. They're able to chunk Hanbin out themselves then after Bernard barely lives.
First cap.
That's the first cap to ZETA. Stalker picked here again. Flora, he's showing up on this.
The moment.
Yeah, on this 4th map here. 5th map, I should say, to count correctly.
This has to be the moment, or else the match is going to be over at Team Falcons. Coming up for a challenge.
I mean, line of sight here definitely favoring Flora as they approach. And
Alpha, ooh, that was close.
But he's going to get a ton of health back here. Does have the faster Blizzard as well. Stalker has done very little.
Falcons rotating a little bit to the side. Hanbin testing the waters. So Barrier pushing them back.
So difficult to break through that choke. As you can see, like they just cannot
Early
quite
Ray
make it.
available though. They're doing the late so far. Ice wall, wanted that isolation. Traps in. They want to use the Blizzard, and even committing this to get Hanbin down. But the fight is also
He just
Bernard.
walks out!
Bernard!
He just walks out, G-Clef, like it doesn't even matter! It doesn't even matter!
Even the Blizzard had to be taught to pop? Oh my god.
Just casually walks away!
Falcons are coming back big. A lot of resources already dropped down for ZETA. The backline, of course, Flora can hold it if he can. Let's see, Proper, though, gets a headshot.
Needed to win that one.
That was a
That was really
nail
pivotal.
biter, yes. Almost, but not quite.
Look at
again.
Proper. The tracking is insane. Alfie will trade one back.
Let's see.
Stalker's Blizzard's out, though. It's a heavy investment here from Falcons, but they do end up getting the point. They already had the cap, but now they have it secured, and ZETA will have to respawn and run back.
Yeah, there was an extra delay coming down from ZETA Division.
Now,
Giving them
Fielder
96%.
is going to swap over to the Kiriko here. That's going to be some additional healing to come through over the Brig,
All right.
as well as the ability to teleport and get to the target he needs to. He can teleport to Proper if he's under threat, and it is a very strong pick given the situation here and their control over the map. Bob
Back
ready.
on ground. Falcons 672. Early Bob. Geo survives. His dive coming down. A bit of a trade. Flora early gone. Proper found. Annihilation on for Hanbin. Let's see who wins this battle. Bernard still in there, but both of their DPS gone. Trying to get the freeze. Quite as he has to ice walk back away. 99%.
Hanbin's still alive. So low. Has that armor.
Bernard's still in this too. And let's see if this is going to be whoever comes back faster.
Fielder just touching. He's just touching. He's going to TP away.
Stalker back, Proper back with the Sojourn.
Violet's down.
That's a big stagger. 99% already. Yeah, without Bernard, that is going to be Falcons coming back again and again to the division. He had the first cap. Not quite. Proper hits hard from the side again.
God, G-Clef, it was so close. It felt so winnable. It felt so won for ZETA. Look at this, the faces
Look
here of the Falcons
how
players.
happy they are.
Yeah, they know that like they should have lost that fight. They were basically doomed backs against the wall. Target selection has been very poor on the side of the ZETA division. They're all firing at different targets. Falcons are laser fired on Violet. They take him out first, and then they win the longer fight. Now they have Kiriko with an ultimate here. Fielder ready to rush them through with the Kitsune.
Now let's see. So this Sojourn was about touching the first point, but we'll keep playing it proper. Certainly delivered the damage, but was not enough in the previous map. Rush on for Fielder. Goes in. But just controlling the tempo slowly. They have the cap.
Flora solo has to back out. As you can see here, doesn't have line of sight.
There it
Cap
is.
goes to Falcons. Raid first for Finn.
Rotation coming down from ZETA.
Blizzard getting some freezes here. Finn's
Oh,
down.
Hanbin's just doing 4 men's worth on his own. Again, it's this guy on the screen.
Delay on
Okay.
Flora's death as well means that this should be 50 plus before ZETA Division really get the proper contest. Now they're going to have Annihilation, they're going to have a rally, but
yes.
their time has shown that Hanbin doesn't need ults. He just needs his healers to pump those numbers in. And Proper also having this extra overclock is going to offer burst damage that Ashe doesn't have, that Bob doesn't really have, to actually burst Bernard down during his ultimate here, even with a rally. Speaking of,
Early damage. Committed partial lights away. Not really using that overclock yet.
we're at 75.
ZETA Division, they need to come in now. Oh no. So not really anything spent for this fight. As Falcons, they will just kind of give up their positioning and then let ZETA Division retake this.
Yeah, they got the Annihilation, and unfortunately for Proper, he didn't feel like he had enough line of sight to actually use that overclock there. Like he had LOS, but only on the front line and not at the prior targets there. And with the Annihilation running, and unfortunately for Stalker, the lack of agency there, he backs away. They keep the overclock. Everything else relatively even here. Hanbin's ult advantage won't necessarily matter
Proper
unless
on
he
the
can get
side.
it.
It's dangerous. Covered up by the teammates again. The support line is just Flora. You had to use the Bob.
Yeah, that's actually a big win here for Falcons if they can get out of here. And with this
Proper
ice wall, they
escapes.
will. He escapes with the ice wall.
But not
Flora's
Geo.
down.
That's a good trade though. Overclock, this is the moment for Proper. Shoots from the side. Second is off, he needs to go. There's a flip. And with just one ultimate, good to go as Finn just says, take me down.
Bye-bye. The chances of your tournament going, or the chances of you extending your tournament life here and potentially being able to bring us to that map reset, feeling very slim, because not only do they win that fight, but they trade up in ultimates. Proper's overclock is what seals the deal.
Okay.
Look at the Hanbin shot calling coming through, frantic, but well delivered. You could see with the Ray advantage here for Falcons and the Kitsune Rush, they should be able to win this neutral fight.
Bernard back with Eva, as we've had that. Blizzard coming down from Stalker soon enough.
And he's denied the kill.
They're quickly done. Violet, Proper finds one another. ZETA, and they're falling apart.
They just have way more mobility with this comp, but when you dive like that, if you don't get the kill onto Proper, it's never worth it.
They were so quickly done when they dove in together. That almost didn't make sense how much the damage was.
And then Bernard is staggered. That's more time here on this control point here. Our flash point, I should say, third and final that Falcons need to lift the trophy. Proper already 35% of his next ult. They have the Blizzard. And they're just trying to see the approach angle here for Zeta Division. Bernard failing to get that pick is really what did them in on the last fight. We'll see if this time he wants to go for that backline access once again.
Just 1 point away.
He's already used his thrusters, so the angle here is easy for Falcons. They just kite away, play the point. Flora with a desperate attempt to flank, but is denied by the shield of the Brig.
Going for the high ground. Looking for that pick on the back. Close, shield still survives. Flora down though with the torpedo. Gets caught. 62%.
I mean,
Falcons about to have championship.
They have to drop the Blizzard. Bernard has to live. He has a remake, but
Violet's
Violet's dead.
Stalker? Stalker? Don't even have to use the Blizzard. This is a
insane.
nightmare for Zeta.
This is insane.
Can he even come
Flora,
back and
Flora,
touch?
he swapped over to this Sombra. The remake is denied from Bernard. He's not able to get back in
This
the
might
mech.
just be it.
I think this likely will be. Flora has to touch. He should be able to get it. He should be able to get it. They're spy checking. Does get the touch. Does trigger overtime. One last fight. One last chance.
Can anyone? Oh, no, I saw. I thought he dead. Had to blink. Extra.
There's
Violet.
nothing left. There's nothing left.
Zeta Division coming back just to buy time for the overtime. The Falcons, they have everything in their tools. That's a third flashpoint gone. And your Team Falcons will be your OWCS Korea Stage 2 champions.
Falcons do it again. Krusty bursts out from the backstage. And this team has been coached well. This team has been prepped well with this Ramatra Juno meta. They looked by far the superior team when comps were mirrored, and when they weren't, they were able to shut down almost any curveball that was thrown their way. The Sombra did give them a little bit of trouble on Circuit Royale, but beyond that, they just played what was standard, what was strong, and that was the only trump card that Zeta had, was just a little Sombra tech. Beyond that, they weren't comfortable to actually try anything else or match. The Diva was the only other curveball they threw, and it looked extremely weak. Team Falcons will win this title here in our second season, our second stage, and solidify themselves as favorites going into the OWCS Asia LAN in just a few weeks' time. They were the massive favorites to do it last time. They were dethroned by Crazy Raccoon. This time they stopped Crazy Raccoon early in the semis to get to this finals, and it was just as one-sided as it was against Crazy Raccoon. This team right now is the team to beat, and with this new Ramatra Juno meta, they seem unstoppable. Player of the match?
Player of the match. Proper. The main DPS, the hit scan, Sombra, Ashe, Sojourn, you name it.
It was a 5-1 vote. Only one vote going to Hanbin, and I think that's warranted. He played incredibly well. But I think if you're voting for Hanbin, you're also voting for Fielder and Chio, who kept him alive incredibly well. Proper had almost no resources in this best of 7, and was consistently absolutely destroying Flora in his main role. He was by far, to me, the player of the match. And he empowered Hanbin so much, because when Hanbin was dove, Proper found angles, counterplayed, went for flanks, was able to get the backline. Dynamites were amazing. The dude just couldn't be stopped.
Hanbin was impressive, of course, but I think the DPS gap was certainly shown today. The Sombra tech from Flora and the team of Zeta was cool, but it only works on certain maps. It doesn't really work on all the maps, and we're playing first to 4. And Falcons just delivered so much better, and I actually like the fact they made no roster swaps when they had a lot more members to play. Just continue the momentum. You guys got this. Just continue it, deliver it. We're giving no extra chances for Zeta Division to go get that extra strategy, extra time for you to swap. So I like that choice coming down from Chris Krusty today.
His Ashe was crazy. He played the Sojourn incredibly well. His Tracer also here, which only played briefly, was pretty high value. Just looking at it, I mean, in these moments, like he also was able to flex to the Sombra himself. He got some value. Obviously, they ended up losing that map, but the fact that he was able to quickly swap was pretty impressive. We watch moments like this, where it's like, well, you just can't be anywhere near this guy. It almost looks like he's cheating, right? Because he just doesn't miss, and his teammates set him up so incredibly well. When they set the ball to him, he spikes it so hard. Like
I didn't even see that well through the Ray.
Which is incredible.
It's just predictions.
He just made it look like it wasn't even a 5v5 game, you know? He was always picking someone, always killing somebody in adversity, with people trying to dive on him. He just didn't care. Look, Finn just gave up.
ZETA almost seems like everyone's ignoring him because you don't want to fight this guy.
Yeah, but then you can't kill Hanbin either. The support line is just so good.
Look, that was a big start again and again. The only guy who actually made Sojourn look very hype and very OP.
There was this resurgence of Ramatra when Juno became more meta, became more popular, and then became the meta. And I think that Team Falcons, they have a really great coaching staff, right? I think Krusty and Jungpuck were like, okay, let's hyper index on this. Like, it's a little bit risky if there's a counter comp that comes up that we don't know about, we could be in trouble. But they just mastered this so well, so quickly. And ZETA obviously are familiar with it. They ran it themselves.
Oh, yeah.
They know it's the strongest comp right now, but they were nowhere near as prepared as Team Falcons were playing this style.
Of course, the backline, Fielder Chio also played so well. Diana from King's Row, one of the biggest changes. Other than that, it has been a lot of Juno, Brig, Juno, and one more support to pair up. But 4-1 is the score. Grand Finals, we only have one match being played today because we already had the third place out of the way a few days ago. So that will just be it. So we do have all the teams guaranteed now with the seeding.
So in 2 weeks, we start OWCS Asia at the LAN. And like you said, we already had our qualifiers, so everybody is in here. Falcons, Seed 1. ZETA, Seed 2. Crazy Raccoon won that match against Poker Face, which pushed Poker Face into wild card. So they're Korea's 4th seed, and Korea will have 4 seeds because of that wild card. Bleed got Pacific, 99, placing 2nd, will be the 2nd seed.
Right.
Lazuli, with an upset win with Nyam over Varel, means that we won't see Varel, we won't see Insomnia, so 2 completely new representatives from OWCS Japan this season. Crazy not to have both of our Japanese representatives in this one. Same, of course, of Pacific. They have a completely new setup as well. We didn't see DAF last time around.
You might be wondering where Varel is. They went to Wildcard, but lost to Poker Face. So that's why we have Poker Face only, which completes 8 slots coming into Asia. And we do have the bracket. Oh, man. Falcons versus 99 Divine starting things off. Nyam Gaming versus ZETA Division. Oh, boy.
So the fastest possible rematch for Crazy Raccoon versus Falcons would actually be in that winners match, G11, the 11th game on Sunday the 29th. So I see a lot of people in chat saying, when are we going to see that rematch? Assuming that Crazy Raccoon doesn't lose to Nyam or ZETA, and Falcons win, as they are expected to, against Poker Face and 99 Divine, like, mark your calendars for 2 weeks from today, because the winner of that matchup goes to the LAN final. So, like, I'm really foreshadowing a lot, and there's a lot of time between now and then. But already that rematch, that rivalry is set to happen here in the upper bracket.
Yeah, only a few goes to the major from Asia. It has been the Korean teams. Things can happen. We had some wild upsets coming from the seeding deciders. And also, I think we might be hitting the patch soon enough when that World of Warcraft hits.
Yeah, the WoW patch is going to come soon.
So things might be very different when Asia actually opens up. And look at this bracket. I mean, 4 matches a day.
So, I mean, Team Falcons versus 99 Divine is pretty interesting, but I think the big ones for me are Lazuli Poker Face, because Lazuli is the new face of Japan, right? Poker Face battling back, making a big resurgence themselves as an unrepresented org, right? They're basically, you know, they don't have a big sponsor, right? They're still a pretty good org, and they've been around in Korea for a while, but them against Lazuli is really quite fun. And then Nyam Gaming, who's this new underdog from Japan who actually beat Varel to go to the finals.
He did.
Who was our weakest team basically in Stage 1. Now actually gets to the LAN, and they play against a Japanese org in ZETA who just lost today in the first match. So very hype set of matches that we have on that Friday for best of 5s.
Oh, man. Yeah, do your homework early so you can stay up and watch all 4 matches go. And I think we will go straight into our award ceremony for the Falcons. We do have the Marine on stage.
네, 자 오늘의 챔피언이 등장하게
All right,
됐습니다.
Quest, take it away for the translations.
오버워치 챔피언스 시리즈 코리아 스테이지 2입니다. 자, 우승팀에 대한 시상식을 지금부터 진행을 해보려고 하는데요. 자, 시상에는 WDG의 오영환 부사장님께서 수고해 주시겠습니다. 자, 무대 위로 모셔보겠습니다. 큰 박수 부탁드릴게요.
Just making onto the stage.
자, 오늘의 이 무대가 있기까지 정말 많은 도움이 있었습니다.
There was a lot of help coming all this way for every team.
정말 저희가 많은 추억을
Of course,
쌓고 있는데요.
Team Falcons.
지금 자리에 아직 준비가
on
안
the
되신 건가요?
stage.
아, 올라오시는군요. 자, 다시
Oh,
한번
okay,
큰
so
박수
the players are now
부탁드리겠습니다.
making on their way onto the stage. And this is our Chief Operating
그러면
Officer at
우승팀에
WDG.
대한 시상을 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 2024 오버워치 챔피언 시리즈 코리아 스테이지 2 명예 우승팀은 바로 팀 팔콘입니다.
Stage 2 champions, Team
자, 우리
Falcons. Let's
선수분들 무대 위로
go!
올라와 주시면 되겠습니다. 자,
Of course,
오늘의
players are now
값진
making
우승,
their way onto the
정말
stage.
본인들에게 있어서 천적과도 같았던 크레이지 라쿤을 잡아내면서 정말
They made their way all the way here, beating Crazy Raccoon.
스테이지 1, 2까지 본인들의
So
실력을
they,
이어가고 있습니다.
from stage 1 to stage 2,
보여주면서 대단한 기량을
both
보여줬고요.
stages they are champions.
와, 팀원들 정말 많죠.
A lot of members on stage, plus the coaching staff as well.
전달할 것들
We
바로
have
해드리도록 하겠습니다.
Krusty and Junkbuck.
스테이지 2 동안 정말 멋진 모습을 보여주면서 우승을 차지한 팔콘에게는 저희가 상금과 꽃다발을
So we
전해드리도록
have flowers
하겠습니다.
and,
자, 지금 바로
of course,
전달해
the
주시고요.
prize
자,
money.
우리 선수분들에게 가운데로 또 전달해 주시면 되겠습니다. 한빈 선수 주시죠.
Yes,
같이 한번
Hanbin
서주시고
taking
앞에
the
한번 봐주시고요.
the placard,
네.
or I don't know what you call it. The
자,
station,
축하드립니다.
the big.
예, 다시
Yeah,
한번
it's the stage 2
우승을
champions.
차지한 팀 팔콘 팀에게 여러분들
For
뜨거운
Sermajet
큰
holding the
박수
flowers.
부탁드리겠습니다.
Please give a round of applause
네,
for
그리고
your
시상을
OWCS
해주신
Korea Stage 2
WDG의
champions.
오영환 부사장님께도 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리면서 자, 자리로 돌아가시면 되겠습니다. 자, 감사합니다. 박수 한번 부탁드릴게요.
Claps in the chat, claps at the venue as well.
네, 이제 우승자와 인터뷰해보는 시간을 저희가 또
Whereas this is the
가져봐야겠죠.
now
자, 그런 만큼
interview.
오늘 이 우승의 저 값진 생각이 좀 어떨지 좀 궁금해지는데 자, 오늘 지금 당장 우승한 소감이 어떤지 궁금합니다.
So can you tell us how you feel about the victory?
마이크를 그냥 제 쪽으로 주실래요? 제가 그냥 저 주세요. 제가 그냥 알아서 할게요. 예, 주시면
The Marine saying,
네,
give the mic to me. I'll do it myself.
쭉 인터뷰 한번 해보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 해피 선수 다시 한번
First,
복귀해서
Happy.
팀원도 우승하는데 함께 공을 세웠고
So
오늘
of course
이 자리에서
he contributed a
팔콘이
lot
다시
as
한번
well,
대한민국 최강
subbing in and
팀이
out
됐습니다.
during the
보시면서
round
좀
robins.
어떠셨나요?
So how did you feel watching the finals?
저희 애들 지금 몸 안 좋은 애들도 있고 지금 컨디션도 안 좋은 애들 많거든요.
Of course, we have a lot of teammates that are
잘
sick,
해줘서 동생들 너무 기특하네요.
but I'm very proud of my boys for
어땠어요?
playing
오늘
very
경기
well.
중에서 어떤 플레이가 우리 팀의 플레이 중에서 가장 빛이 났었고 상대 팀보다 뛰어났던 것 같다. 뭐
What
이런
was
게
the play
있었나요?
that
경기를 관람하시면서.
made your team shine over the over Zeta division?
히트스캔 차이 많이 났던 것 같아요. 동현이가
Hitscan
제일 많이
diff?
아팠는데 동현이가
Proper
제일 잘했어요.
was
진짜요?
the
우리
most sick,
POTM은
but
잘 뽑은
Proper,
거네요?
of course, getting the
그렇습니다.
POTM, and he
자, 이번
played
시즌,
phenomenally.
그동안
Says
오늘
Happy.
제타를 만나서도 그렇습니다만 또 라쿤까지 잡아내면서 다시 한번 대한민국 최강 팀이 됐는데
Of course, they
감사의 마음 담아서
solidified
우리
themselves
팬
as
여러분들에게
the
한 말씀
Korean
부탁드리겠습니다.
champions,
제가요? 네.
beating
본인도
Zeta
해야죠.
division and Crazy
네.
Raccoon. So please say a few words to the
항상
fans.
응원해 주셔서 감사합니다. 마지막까지
Thank
꼭
you so much for supporting
우승으로
us as
마무리할 수
always,
있도록 노력하겠습니다.
and we'll make sure to stay champions until the very end.
자, 이어서 자,
Now,
프로포
he's
선수와
referring
이야기
to, of course,
나눠보겠습니다.
OWCS Asia,
오늘
which is
승리
coming up
소감부터
next.
부탁드릴게요.
So how do you feel about the victory?
좀 열이 많이 나가지고 수행 맞고 왔는데 그래도 뭔가
He had to go to the hospital because of a high,
좀
because
몸
of
상태가 좀
really bad
완벽하지
fever.
않습니다만
But
오늘 그 애쉬 폼을 보여주는 모습에
I feel that he
많은
played well.
분들이 좀 감탄을 했었고요. 특히나 장지수
Of course,
해설이
his
한
Ash,
2세트 정도 보고
his
나서
Ash
지금 POTM을 적어도 되겠는데요? 라고
was
저에게
phenomenal
얘기했었거든요. 오늘
with one of the
경기
Korean
내에서의 본인의
casters
감각은 좀 어땠었나요?
saying that, okay, well, I'm just gonna vote for you.
뭔가 스크림 하는데 뭔가 되게 잘 맞더라고요.
오.
So
그래가지고
he says,
좀 뭔가 느낌이 좀 좋았던 것 같아요.
I had a lot of good feelings
자,
about
그동안
today
뭐 준우승도 많이 했고
because
자, 오늘을 통해서 야 여기 보세요. 이 정성 보이세요?
now that you see the
저 두
placard,
분에게 저 감사해.
and of
예,
course,
말씀 하나
because of the
부탁드려도
scrim results, I had a good feeling about today.
어떤 말?
될까요? 뭐 떠오르는 말은 없나요?
And a few words to the
그것
fans
자체로 감사하다고
and
합니다. 관심은 감사한 거니까요.
about the
그리고 태국
placards.
팬 여러분들에게 마지막으로 한 말씀
And he says he doesn't
어,
have anything to say about the
제가
placards,
항상
but
결승전에 가서 졌는데
a word to his fans.
그래도 항상 응원해주신 팬분들 너무 감사드리고
I would like to thank all the fans. Of course, we fell short a couple times, but thank you for continue to support us.
사실 제가 한 매일 가는 영웅이 눈에 띄기 힘든 그런 영웅이어서 그런 부분이 좀
How do you feel about the victory stalker?
그냥 이겨서 그걸로 만족합니다.
Of course, May's a hero that doesn't really stand out compared to other heroes, but I'm really glad
재미면에서는 본인 스타일은
that
아닌가요?
I contributed a lot.
좀 아쉽긴 하죠.
아 아쉽다. 아 그럼 메타가 좀 바뀌길 바라시겠네요.
당연하죠.
He
그러면
hopes
스토커 선수는
that
어떤
the
영웅으로
meta should
가장
change.
본인의 장점을 보여주고 싶어요. 저희는 트레이서 그 자체로 좀 알고 있기는 한데.
Of course, he's known for his tracer,
그냥
but how do you wish
그냥 뭐든 좋습니다.
how do you wish the meta would
알겠습니다.
change?
그러면
And
자,
he says as long as not
아시아
this
각오 한번
one,
들어보겠습니다.
he's really happy.
오늘 기사 이어서 그냥 아시아도 오늘 끝맺음 잘할 수
And as for the resolutions for OWCS Asia,
네, 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
we'll ride the momentum into
자,
winning
스모프 선수
OWCS
이야기
Asia as
나눠볼게요.
well.
탱커들끼리 사이가 정말 좋네요. 가운데 서서 함께 들고 있는데 어쩜 이렇게 좀 우애가 좋아 보입니까? 자, 우승 소감부터 부탁드릴게요.
How do you feel about the victory?
비록 제가 경기는 뛰진 않았지만
Of course, I didn't play today, but as part of the team,
같이 노력해서 우승 거둔 것 같아서
I think that we all contributed to today's
그러면
win, so
오늘
I'm really
경기
happy.
내에서 프로퍼 선수를 MVP로 POTM으로 해피 선수가 뽑아줬는데 스머프 선수가 뽑는
Happy
프로퍼
pick
선수
proper
외에
as
본인의
POTM for
MVP가
today.
있다면 좀 어떤
So,
선수가 있을까요?
what's your
이제
pick?
딜러가 딜러 챙겨줬듯이 저는 이제 탱커를 챙겨줘야 되기 때문에 한빈 선수
So as
뽑고
the
싶습니다.
DPS player picked the
어떤
DPS
점을
player,
특별히 좀
I
잘했던
will
것
say
아무래도
Hanbin.
이제 지켜봐
I'm gonna
주시는
have to
분들은
take care of
다
my
보시겠지만
fellow
한빈
tank
선수가
player.
콜도 되게 많이 하기도 하고
And
이제
the reason behind that is
플레이적인
because
면에서도
Hanbin makes a lot of good
굉장히
in-game
잘하는
calls,
선수이기
and of
때문에
course his play
그렇게
itself
생각하는
is
것
phenomenal. So that's
알겠습니다. 자,
why
팬
I
여러분들에게
picked Hanbin.
마지막 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
No word to your fans as well.
저희 경기 항상 응원해 주셔서 감사드리고
Thank you so much for
이제
always
저번과 같이 똑같이
supporting
코리아를
us.
우승하게 됐는데
And just
저번
like Stage
시즌과는
1,
다르게
we
이제
won
아시아랑
Stage 2.
메이저에서 더
But
좋은
unlike
성적
Stage
거둘 수
1, we
있도록
will
열심히
make
할
sure
테니까
to
그때까지 응원해
win
주셨으면
OWCS Asia and do well
감사하겠습니다.
at Stockholm as
네, 박수
well. Thank
부탁드리겠습니다.
you very much.
자, 이어서 오늘 탱커 그 자체였습니다. 한빈
Of course,
선수
Hanbin
우승
was-
부탁드릴게요.
So the next question goes to Hanbin. How do you feel about the victory?
일단 우승해서 너무 좋고요.
I feel really good about
저는 이제
the
다들
championship
이제 약간
win.
감동적인 말을 했는데 저는 재미있게 왜 저가 큐팀이 아닌지.
So everyone said something
POTM 이 왜
emotional,
본인이
but
아닌지 이해가
I
안
will say
돼요?
something funny.
제가 모든
Why
게임
didn't I
팍지
get
먹었던 것
POTM?
같은데.
예.
네,
But I think I played
죄송합니다.
well.
이거는 너무
그렇습니다.
동설한 말이었고요.
저에게 만약 권한이 있었다면 전부 다
I think I
POTM 드리고 싶은데
contributed
저는
a
이제
lot.
캐스터다 보니까 없어요. 네, 전 한빈 선수 제가 드릴게요 마음으로.
감사합니다.
Of course, the Marines pick for POTM is Hanbin.
MVP였습니다.
Of course, he doesn't really get anything, but I think he's just saying it.
어떻게 하면 그렇게 잘하는 거예요? 왜 안 죽어요, 한빈은?
Okay, so he's asking why the Ramatra won't
잘했다고
die.
생각합니다.
And Hanbin says, I think
왜냐면은
Chio, it's all because of
선수가
Chio.
이제 그때 이제 처음에 준호 나왔을 때는
When
이제
Juno first came out,
제가 조금 이 깔아줘 제발 이 깔아
of course, press E, press E, he
근데
said.
지금 너무 잘해가지고
But
그냥
now,
이제
he's playing
반대로
really
치호가
well.
저한테 이 깔 테니까 가라고
So
정도가 됐습니다.
Chio now says, okay, I'm gonna press E, so just go, go.
마지막으로 본인이 볼 때 이 부분은 내가 봐도 내가 오늘 이 장면 미쳤다, 너무 잘했다.
What's the highlight
이런 장면이
reel
있을까요?
moment for your own gameplay today?
솔직히 그냥 이것저것 다 잘했던 것 같아가지고
I think I just
오늘
played well
만족스러운
overall.
경기였고
So-
왕이길 도박이긴 했거든요. 나노 라마트라 저희 한 명 죽었을 때 간 게.
Of course,
그
the
공격
Nano
마지막
Ramatra
점에서
was a gamble
거의 도박수가 좀
in
잘
the
되지
second
않았나.
point, and I think that
좋습니다. 오늘의
gamble
승리
paid
다시 한번
off.
축하드립니다.
감사합니다.
네. 자, 이어서 필더 선수 이야기 나눠보겠습니다. 자, 우승 소감부터 부탁드리겠습니다.
So Fielder,
솔직히 우승에서 기쁘다기보다는 저 브리기테 해가지고 좀 재밌었고요.
I had a lot of fun playing Brigida.
다음에도 브리기테 메타가 왔으면 좋겠어요.
So I wish next time
브리기테 메타가 안 왔으면
the
좋겠다고요?
Brigida,
왔으면 좋겠어요.
왔으면 좋겠다.
the Brigida
그렇습니다.
meta
지금의
would be
뭐 메타도 적응을 하면서
the meta.
우승까지 해버렸는데
next time.
어떻습니까? 이제 코리아는 정복을 했습니다. 스테이지 1, 2. 더 나아가야 되지 않겠습니까, 팔콘?
So of course,
네.
now that
네, 끝이에요. 당연한 거다.
he just
그럼
says yes
아시아건
to the
뭐건 뭐냐, 뭐
question.
스톡홀름이건
Okay,
뭐
so
점령할 자신
you
있습니까?
dominated stage 1 and 2. So shouldn't you go forward with Asia and Stockholm as well?
이런 상대입니다.
And he
하지만 전 지지 않도록 하겠습니다.
kept it simple
자,
and
오늘
said,
경기
yep.
중에서 어떻습니까? 오늘 필더 치오 정말 명불허전 최고의 콤비다 이런 얘기 많이 들으면서
Of course,
했었는데
Fielder Chio,
이번 시즌은
the
솔직히 고생
renowned
많이
support
했었잖아요.
duo.
어때요? 그런 어려운 상황을 겪고 나서 다시 한번 우승컵을 들어올린다는 것
And of
자체.
course, they had their bumps on the road this stage.
네, 저희가
How do you feel?
초반에는 그렇게 막 성적이 좋지 않았어서 다들 약간 의기소침해했고 그래서
So everyone was, their morale was kind a little bit down because obviously our performance was ups and down. But
우승할 것 같아요.
I think that with today's victory, we will ride the momentum into Asia and Stockholm.
네, 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 자, 이어서 치오 선수 좀 만나볼 텐데요.
Next, we have
자, 우승
Chio.
소감부터 부탁드릴게요. 치오
Please tell us
선수.
how you feel about the victory.
우선 이번 대회 또 우승해가지고 많이 기쁘네요.
I'm really happy that we won
네.
Stage 2 as well.
약간 좀 수줍으신 것 같은데 자, 어떻습니까? 이번 시즌은 사실 팔콘이 솔직히 이번 시즌은 우승이 쉽지 않을 것 같은데 이런 분위기가 좀 나오고 있었단 말이에요. 그럴 때 숙소 분위기는 좀 어땠어요?
When people started saying, okay, Falcons may not win this stage, how did
제 입장에서는 이번 준호 캐릭터가
how did
메인
the
캐릭터
team?
생각했었고 저랑 잘
How was the team
맞아가지고
atmosphere? And for Chio, it says
뭔가
when Juno
이제
came
저
out,
준호
and
시켜주면은
of course when
우승할
Juno
자신
was
있어요.
enabled, I had a lot of
선수
confidence
링 타이밍도 그렇고 여러 가지로 마음에 들었어요?
with the hero.
너무 마음에 들었어요. 이제 말을 잘 따르더라고요.
Of course,
마음에
he
든 게 아니라
says
그냥 너무 마음에 들었다고 합니다. 자, 마지막으로 우리 팬 여러분들에게 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
now that they listen to my calls,
최근
now they're
성적이
playing
많이 안
Juno,
좋았어가지고 다들 이제
you know, word to his
저희
fans.
팀 팬하기 많이 힘들었을 텐데 이번에 다시 우승으로 증명해가지고
Of course, we had our bumps in the road, but I'm really
다음
happy that
대회들도
we
이제 다
were able to
우승할
prove
테니까
ourselves through this victory.
앞으로도 많은 응원 부탁드리겠습니다.
And we'll make sure to win
네,
all the
말씀
future
부탁드리겠습니다.
tournaments as well. So please continue to cheer for us.
원래는 여기서 끝내야 되는데 맞아요. 우리 팬 여러분들에게 치오 선수가 쿠키 선물로 드렸다면서요.
Oh, okay. So
정말
Chio
아름다운 저 모습
gave the
아니겠습니까?
fans some
다시 한번 박수
cookies
부탁드리겠습니다. 팬 여러분들에 대한 사랑까지 느껴지는 우리
as
또 치오
gifts for the
선수였는데요.
fans.
앞으로 저희가
So
응원하도록 하겠습니다.
감사합니다.
next time
네.
when
자,
Team
이제
Falcons
이어서
are
썸마지드 선수
playing
만나볼게요.
chat,
썸마지드
please
선수는 저희가 직접 하기 좀 그러니까 통역
please come
제가 좀
to our venue
부탁드리겠습니다.
to watch
자,
the
팀의
games.
우승 소감부터 부탁드리겠습니다.
How do you feel about the
feels good.
victory?
Because our condition wasn't that good, but I'm glad that we won. Yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna let him talk.
우승해서 기분이 좋고 몸이 안 좋은데도 이겨서 아주 좋다고 합니다.
그렇군요. 그 썸마지드 선수 입장에서는 멀리 한국까지 와서 경기를 함께 하고 있는 거잖아요. 예, 대한민국에서 프로게이머 생활을 하는 것 자체가 좀 힘들 수도 있는데 좀 어떻게 좀 생활하고 있는지 좀 궁금한데요.
So can you tell us a
질문
little bit
한번
about your pro gamer life now, because you're playing
Life here is sometimes
overseas?
hard
For
because
for you, it's
language
overseas in
barriers,
Korea.
really difficult, but I'm getting used to it. I love Korea actually.
한국을 사랑하는데 언어의 벽이 확실히 힘들다고 합니다.
그렇지 하지만 또 곧 저희가 더 친해질 수 있으니까. 자, 그럼 마지막으로 썸마지드 선수의 앞으로의 목표 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
What are your goals?
Winning next stage, Asia, and then go to Sweden hopefully.
네, 아시아 우승과 스톡홀m 가는 겁니다.
네, 자 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 오, 썸마지드 러브 유. 이렇게 또 많은 팬이 있습니다. 자,
course,
이어서
there's
우리 또
some
코칭
fans
스태프분과도 인터뷰 나눠봐야겠죠.
showing some love for Sermajet as well
코치님과 얘기 나눠볼
at the
텐데
venue.
이번 시즌 고생
So now we have
많았습니다.
Jackbuck.
최종 우승을 만들어냈습니다. 지금의 소감이 궁금한데요.
How do you feel about
이거 레귤러
leading the team
시즌이
into the
이거에서
championship
우리가
victory?
이제 초반에 여러 뭐라고 해야 되지? 트라이 앤 에러를 많이
Of course, the round robin
겪었었는데 그래도
was long,
모두가
so
믿고 따라와준
there was a lot.
팀원들과
It was a long
이제
trial and error
팬분들도
period,
지켜봐 주신 팬분들에게도 너무 감사드리고요.
and
이렇게
we nailed it.
끝은 우승을
So,
마무리할 수 있어서 너무 좋습니다.
I'm really happy
네,
that we
자,
were able
이번에는
to
코리아
conclude the
스테이지
stage
1, 2가
with the
아니라
championship
뭐
victory.
아시아 또 나아가서는 뭐 스톡홀름 정말 큰 대회들이 연거푸 지금 남아 있는
Of course, there's
상황입니다. 좀 어떻게
there are a lot of
앞으로를 좀 준비하실 생각이
huge upcoming
궁금한데요.
tournaments.
저희 이번에
So how
연습할
are you
때도
preparing?
마지막일 수도 있다는 생각으로 이제 절대로 개인
When we were
연습 안 하는
practice,
선수들도 개인 연습도 많이 하기 시작했고 이제
Of course, we
계속
had
이렇게
our
느슨하지 않고
the mindset
실제
was
이번
that we
추석에는
had our
푹 쉬고
backs on
돌아와서
the
다시
walls
빡세게
so that
연습하도록 하겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 자, 박수
I
부탁드리겠습니다.
was making the players
자, 참고로
play
저희가
competitive,
잠시 후에
whether solo
큰 거 하나 발표할
and
게 있어요.
scrims, of course.
조금만 기다려 주시면 제가 엔딩 멘트
So,
때 하나 알려드리도록
after
하겠습니다.
Chuseok, they'll be going
자,
right
그리고,
back to practice. He
정말 우리
says.
명장님이죠. 정말 우리 오버워치 리그부터 시작을 해서 OWCS까지 많은 우승을
From
이뤄내고 있습니다.
the Overwatch
자,
League to the
코치님,
OWCS,
자, 오늘의 우승
we have
소감부터
Krusty.
들어보도록 하겠습니다.
How do you feel about the victory?
일단 시작이 많이 힘들었어서
Of course, the start was
걱정을 많이
rocky,
하긴 했는데
so I was a little
항상
worried.
선수들에게 한 얘기가 있었어요.
So there was something,
우리가
but there was
소년
something I
만화
always said.
같은 이런 스테이지를 만들어 나가자.
Just like shonen,
저는 저희가
just
다양한
like a shonen
쇼를 하는
manga,
과정 중에
let's make
선수들이
our
서로의
stage.
다른 강점, 약점을 서로 인지하고 저희가 더욱더
So
한 팀이
let's
되었다고
recognize our
생각합니다.
weaknesses and strengths,
그걸 다
and
믿고
let's
따라와
become
준 저희 선수들께 너무
one single
감사하고
unit.
그다음에 이렇게 많은 도움을 주신
So I
저희
want to thank my team,
스태프분들께도 너무
my staff,
감사드리고 싶습니다. 그리고
and the
응원해주신
fans, of
팬분들도
course.
너무
I
감사드립니다.
really want to thank you
끝까지
from the
믿고
bottom of my
따라와 주셔서
heart,
감사합니다.
and thank you for
네.
sticking with us until
제가
the
정말
end.
질문 하나에도 뭐 3개 이상의 그런 가치 있는 멋진 대답을 좀 해주셨습니다. 자, 오늘의 이 우승이 뭐 크리스티 감독님에게는 수많은 우승 중에 뭐 하나일지 뭐 여러 가지 뭐 궁금증이 있습니다만 오늘 경기 보면서 우리 선수분들 전체적으로 봤을 때 어느 부분 가장 칭찬해주고 싶었나요?
What's the one thing? What's the one thing that you want to compliment your team the most?
저희가 자신감 있는 거를 놓지 않은 게
I think that we were sticking to our strengths and not letting go of our game plan was the key point between behind our championship victory.
이제는 뭐 아시아를 넘어서 글로벌로 넘어가도 이것 그대로 스테이지 1, 2 때의 힘이 그대로 나올 수 있을까요?
So will we see the same Team
유지하길
Falcons
바라죠. 근데 이제 메타에 따라
in
다르긴
OWCS
하겠지만
Asia
저는
and
저희
beyond?
팀이 더욱더 하나의 팀이 되었다 생각해서
Of course, I think that we became a single unit, and of course, it might our performance may
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 다시
go
한번
up and down
박수
depending
부탁드리겠습니다.
on the meta. But
네, 자, 이렇게 2024
I think we proved ourselves in the
챔피언스
end.
시리즈 코리아 스테이지 주인공은 다시 한번 또 팔콘 팀으로 결정이 되었습니다.
And that was the
정말 수많은
interview
선수분들과
with
코칭
your
스태프들의
OWCS
땀과
Korea
열정으로
Stage 2
멋진 무대가
champions.
완성이 된 것 같습니다. 자, 하지만 우리 선수분들이 빛나기 위해서 가장 중요한 것은 누가 뭐래도
course,
현장에 오시는 여러분들 그리고
the fans
온라인으로 정말
are the most
채팅도 열심히
important,
쳐주시고 방송을
whether
시청해
they
주시는
were at the
수많은
venue
분들이
and
아닌가라는
online
생각이
watching
듭니다.
wherever you are.
좀 아시는 분들은 아시겠지만
So-
저희 충무로 이 e스포츠 스튜디오가 2022년 10월에 대한민국 역사와 전통을 자랑하는 충무로에서 이곳에서 열리게 되었었는데요. 이제 어느덧 만 2년이 지나게 되었습니다.
This is our
정말 작은 PC방에서
roughly
시작을 해서
two-year
이제는
anniversary
충무로
as
스튜디오까지
WPG
저희가 옮기면서
started
여러분들과
off
함께
from
성장하는
a small PC
그런 모습을
cafe
보여줬는데
to the
이 정도 얘기하면 약간 좀
to
느낌이 좀
where we
오고
are today.
계시죠?
So it's been a long one.
예, 이제 다가오는 가을 대한민국의 젊음과 예술이 살아 숨쉬는 곳으로 저희가 스튜디오를 이전할까 합니다.
We are going to also
자,
move our
그래서
studio
홍익대학교
to
WDG
Hongik
스튜디오가
University,
홍대에 들어서게 됩니다.
making the huge announcement.
와, 저 보면서 믿을 수가 없었습니다. 예, 충무로에서
The
여러분들과
Marine,
함께했던
the
시간
Marine getting
정말
very hyped
영화
for
속
the
한 명을
move.
같았다면
And of course,
이제는
I am
그것을
too,
완성시키기
because it
위해서
means
저희가
bigger venue for
WDG 스튜디오
more
홍대.
fans to come
말 그대로
watch the
홍대
games.
하면 많은 분들이 에너지가 넘치고 트렌디한 이런 느낌을 받게 되고요. 저 역시도 뭔가 문화의 중심 그리고 힙한
And to
이런 느낌이 있는 곳인데요.
close us off for the
이것도
day,
훌륭한
I'm going to
무대입니다만
send it back
더더욱 넓은
to
곳으로
Jigglypuff and
가서
Wolf.
여러분들과 함께 새로운
Thank you,
역사를
Quest,
써
for a
내려가
season
볼까
of
합니다.
translations.
자,
Of course, congratulations again to the Team Falcons for one victory. Oh man, what a day, what a day that we had so far. 4-1, I was expecting a little more, a few more games at least, but it is what it is. Falcons look stellar and they're good to go for Asia.
Well deserved. Good read on the meta. Champions again, back-to-back Korea champions, proper back-to-back POTMs.
Proper was high temperature.
Yeah,
like
he had a
literally
fever.
on fire.
Yeah, he had a fever. He was feeling very sick the entire time. He revealed
There's
in the
no
interview.
way.
He was telling people backstage he was struggling. He was very ill, to be totally honest, guys. And he played as well as he did and picked up POTM. Hanbin, I think, both wanted POTM, but also knew that his teammates backed him up a lot. It was a three-man squad on the tank line with the supports coming through.
And I think we will close off with the scene here. Thank you, Wolf, for the last day of Korea. We will continue in 2 weeks. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we will see all of you in just 2 weeks for Overwatch Champions Series Asia. Back in just 2 weeks. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
다음에 있다는 부디 좀 높은 곳까지 올라갈 수 있었으면 좋겠네요. 살면서 이렇게 많은 팬분들 그렇고 이제 오프라인에서
다시 한번 이기적인 마음으로 감성 소리랑 그런 걸 듣고 싶었거든요. 다음이 있을지는 모르겠지만
다시 만날 수 있길 바랍니다. 감사합니다.
사실 전 시즌에 0승 24패라는 진짜 저희한테도 좀 많이 상처가 깊은 시즌이었고 아마 팬분들한테도 되게 그랬을 거라고 생각해요.
이번 스테이지는 그래도 저번 스테이지보다 좀 성장한 모습 보여드릴 수 있었던 것 같고
VH대전이 드디어 데뷔 후 첫 승을 가져갑니다.
저희의 여정은 여기서 마침표가 아니라 잠시 쉬어가는 쉼표라 생각하고 좀 더 지켜봐 주셨으면 감사하겠습니다.
이번 스테이지 다들 많이 와주시고 봐주셔서 너무 감사드리고
팬분들이 다 지는 공간에서 게임을 한다는 것 자체가 이렇게 즐겁다는 걸 다시 깨닫게 됐고 제가 질 때나 이길 때나 그냥 매사 이렇게 맨날 진심이시고 하시는 모습 보니까 저희도 항상 책임감 있게 경기를 준비해야겠다 이런 생각이 들었고요.
야, 근데 해석관 오늘 경기력 진짜 남다른데요.
보시는 분들도 재밌었으면 좋았겠어요. 저는.
다음 시즌에 또 뵐 수 있으면 좋겠네요. 다들 행복하세요.
저희 푸나틱이 조금 다사다난했던 것 같은데 좋은 결과 조금 못 보여드린 것 같아서 정말 죄송스럽게 생각하고
그래도 다들 열심히 했으니까 다들 수고했다고 말해주고 싶습니다.
끝까지 응원해주신 팬분들 너무 감사드리고 저희가 지던 이기던 항상
열심히 응원을 해주셨기 때문에 저희가 더 잘할 수 있었던 것 같아요.
이기지 못합니다. 결국 푸나틱이었습니다.
다음에 이제 또 다시 꼭 얼굴 봤으면 좋겠네요. 네, 감사합니다.
사실 오프라인 무대라는 게 이제 현장 반응과 함성, 생생한 이제 반응들을 함께 할 수 있다는 게 큰 장점이잖아요.
경기장에서 팬분들의 열렬한 관심과 사랑 속에서 경기를 할 수 있다는 게 뿌듯했고
그리고 팬분들 앞에서 다시 무대를 선다는 게 정말 즐거웠어요.
펑카 페이스 업셋을 만들어냅니다.
정말 행복했던 시즌이었던 것 같아요.
다음 시즌은 이번 시즌보다 더 잘하는 모습, 멋진 모습으로 돌아올 테니까 많은 기대 부탁드립니다. 사랑합니다.
이번 OWCS 때 라운드 로빈에서 오실 세트로 진출도 해보고
무신 세트가 깨지긴 했어도 그래도 저희가 좋았던 성적이 됐으니까
이거마저 이겨버리면 저 팀을 어떻게 잡나요?
오프라인에서도 많이 응원 와주시니까 되게 감사하고 고마웠던 것 같아요. 크레이지 라쿤이라는 팀 명만 들으면 그냥 강팀이라는 이미지로 계속 활동하는 모습으로 찾아뵙도록 하겠습니다.
내년에도 이 멤버 그대로 가면 기대해주세요.
감사합니다.
이번 스테이지 때 많은 걸 많이 배운 것 같고 좀 즐거운 경험을 했던 것 같아서 좀 좋은 것 같고요. 다음 OWCS 때는 더 뭔가 잘할 수 있을 것 같은 자신감이 붙을 것 같아요.
세트 단상 끊어냅니다. 제타 데뷔전.
진짜 멀리서도 와주시고 더운데 와주시고 그런 팬분들 진짜 너무 감사하게 생각하고 팬분들이 없으면은 저희도 그냥 게임만 하는 사람일 뿐이니까 앞으로도 제 팀 많이 응원해 주시면 고마울 것 같습니다. 감사합니다. 그리고 日本でも応援してくれてる人たちも本当にありがとうございます。もっとこれからも何かどうなるかわかんないですけど、これからももっと頑張っていきますので応援お願いします。
OWCS 코리아가 이렇게 끝이 나게 됐는데 앞선 경기들에서 힘든 순간도 있었고 좋은 순간도 많았지만 그래도 저희가 할 수 있는 최선을 다하고 보여드린 것 같아서 기쁘고
크레이지 라쿤의 무패를 끊어내고 목줄을 제대로 선구하는 팀 팔콘입니다.
저희가 중간중간 성적 안 좋을 때도 있었는데 그래도 항상 사랑해주셔서 너무 감사드리고 저희가 프로게임 하는 이유는 팬분들 덕분이라 생각해가지고 응원에 보답으로
앞으로 있을 대회에서도 좋은 모습 보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
항상 감사드립니다.